going back. We move forward. Mama, Yoruba rise up, take control. With unity and fire, we go break the chain. No retreat, oh, no surrender again. No going back, oh, go on this strength. Our culture, reach our voice, go loud for hands. From Ibadan to Ife, from Ijebu to Ekiti, Yoruba land, time don't come. We must be free. We know they beg or take, we go build our home. And that's all Moya from the root to the drum. Omoluabi, we stand on truth. No fear, no shame, we raise our history deep like rivers. Wisdom flow, we they shine like the sun. Shout out to the elders, warriors of past. Now our turn to make the vision last. Like on me, Jaya me, Yoga me, speak the fact, Yoruba. That's the track. Let go with the dream of a land so great, where justice they flow and no day wait. Education, culture, we build them high. Lift our flag, make it touch the sky. Make me come on yata, now go see. Say Yoruba people, we be lion breed. We go sing, we go dance, we go plan, we go build. With love and strength, we go and go. We move forward. Mama Yoruba rise up, take control. With unity and fire, we go break the chain. No retreat, no surrender. No going back. Over one is strength. Our culture, reach our voice. Go loud for from Ibadan to Ife, from Ijebu to Ekiti. Yoruba land, time don't come. We must be free. Yoruba nation, no run back. Yoruba people, we rise and rise. Ashe, 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 yeah. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Yoruba nation, awakening time don't come. Stand strong, stand proud, cause there's no going back. No going back, oh, we dey move forward. Yoruba rise up, make we take control. With unity and fire, we go break the chain. No retreat, oh, no surrender again. No going back, but one is strength. Our culture rich, our voice go loud for ends. From Ibadan to Ife, from Ijebu to Ekiti. Yoruba land, time don't come, we must be free. We know the bed for the table, we go build our own. And that's Maya, from the roots we grow. Omoluabi, stand on truth. No fear, no shame, we dey raise our youth. History deep like rivers. Wisdom flow, we dey shine like the sun. Shout out to the elders, warriors of past. Now our turn to make the vision last. Like Bomira, oh, Baba, Mayami Kwami, oh, we move attack. Kudomi Daka, oh, speak the fact. Yoruba Lawani, that's the track. And more we dey dream of what I'm so great. But justice they flow, I know the way. Education, culture, we build our high. Lift our flag, make it touch the sky. Ready to come, I have to now go see. Say Yoruba people, we be lion breed. We go sing, we go dance, we go plan, we go build. With love and strength, make the nation in. We dey move forward. Yoruba rise up, make we take control. With unity and fire, we go break the chain. No retreat, oh, no surrender again. No going back, but one is strength. Our culture, our voice go loud for ends. From Ibadan to Ife, from Ijebu to Ekiti. nation. Yoruba people. Rise and Ashe, 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 Ashe. Eba pín program ya kí gbogbo abẹ ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa àpò àlàjọ ọdún náà aṣọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ bẹ ṣe ń wọlé ní méjì mẹ́ta ẹ bá wa pín broadcast we live and this is the 7th. Yoruba people rise and Ashe, 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 Ashe. Mo kí ẹ̀ ń tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pé ẹ kálẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí as we going slowly and steady into the broadcast. It is Koikimedia as we say good evening and welcome. Aki Abawa, the Alan of Ron, the professor, the man that leads one of the biggest movements in the history of mankind. So Mukiwa Kaleo, and welcome back once again to the transmission. We are live and we are also extending our greetings to all those in the diaspora. Àtàwọn tó wà nílé pé mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí ẹ bá wa pín ètò yẹn bí ẹ ṣe ń wọlé. Koiki is live. Self-determination is still ongoing. Quite a lot of expectation, which is normal. But one thing I want us to understand is that we are up against many that doesn't want Yoruba to be free. And as long as Tabat is in the back of our mind, and we are working according to the leader of the movement, then we are likely to succeed. So I have decided to remind us, Biba Bawano Shiman remind wa, either Dr. Chief Sunday Gbowo, either Professor Adebanji Akintoye, either Kayode Emola, or all the groups, our Mamawa, there is only one option, and that option is the exit. But I want to exit. I want the politicians, and we all know how this game is going to end. Nigeria will break up and it will bring pain to some, but 60 million Yoruba people will be excited. 60 million people will be free from the bondage and the shackles Koikimedia will bring of the global world. I want to see what and for that reason, they want to hold us back and keep us where we are in the last 110 years. There's nothing to be scared of, and there's nothing to be worried. No matter how you might feel, no matter how your spirit and your body and your soul and your mind, Nigeria will break up. And there's nothing that can stop that breakup. But before it wants to break, Nigeria is also fighting back so that it doesn't break up. And this is where the challenge comes between the 60 million Yoruba people that have determined that the game is up and Nigeria now needs to break. But we have to remember
that the enemies and those that doesn't want Nigeria to break are not more than us. And that means we have to do everything possibly best to make sure that the country breaks, because that is the only solution and the problem that millions of Yoruba people and others are facing in the current state of Nigeria. So if you are watching us on the Koikimedia backup, now that we are already live on all other platforms, so for you can join our 2 YouTube channels that are currently running as I speak to you right now. The WD76, the Koikimedia, and we're also going to be bringing in a particular channel that is called Rumble. All these are different platforms, and I pray that let me assure you, after the work that we have done in the last 5 years, the result is about to come out soon. How soon is what people are waiting for. But like I stated in the topic that I'll be treating this evening for the next 3, 4, 5, 2, depending on the strength, nothing could sink nothing could sink that is wrong with the Yoruba Nation movement. In case the Banwa are worried, in case you are one of those that are probably concerned, let me put it out there that there is nothing wrong with the movement. The movement is still ongoing, and Yoruba will become an independent country. And nobody in the state mind will be able to stop it. They might pass, do, and try everything. Nigeria is what is fighting back, because Nigeria itself doesn't want to break. But Nigeria will eventually break up, and nobody would have the power and the strength to confront the 60 million people, from the indigenous people of the Yorubas and the Biafra, the others, the Hausas, the Ijos, that everybody has now come into the conclusion that Nigeria is not viable and it cannot be moved forward. Whatever the lies that the politicians are putting out there, whatever the gimmicks, nothing can stop the actualization of an independent Yoruba country. And that is going to come in very limited time, as we have been working under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye and all the team. Many of you are worried, but there's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to be concerned. We must hold on our spirit, the spirit of the determination that the breakup of Nigeria is going to happen. We are praying, and we are also working. And as many of us that are asking many questions all the time, what is happening? What is the delay? It is because your body is not yet prepared for the independent of an independent Yoruba country. Agbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kí body wa máa prepare for the exit, rather than allowing our body to tell us that kò tí possible. Yoruba ti lọ. Because when the British came, we were not asked whether we want to remain one. When we are going to leave Nigeria, Bola Tinubu will not be able to stop it. It is beyond his strength. Akpabio, the Senate president, will not be able to stop the breakup of Nigeria. It is far beyond the strength. The whole of the Senate, the Nigerian military will not be able to stop it. The Navy, all your 6 governors, or should I say, as many of you think that Kwara and Kogi is not one of us. Ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara is going out of Nigeria. Kogi is opting out as well. So do not be worried, do not be concerned. Whether I am live or not is not the issue. The issue is that 60 million Yoruba people have spoken and they have made their mind. They are terrible people. We don't want to live with them. But we want to live with them when we have a country that we can determine how they will live with us under the rules of our own country. Just like Igbo people will go and live in Germany, and they understand that when you go to Germany, the same thing goes with the Hausa. We cannot have cordial relationship with the Fulanis. All the countries are defending their borders. All the other countries around the world are protecting their own citizens against those that want to take away them from their own independent nationality. The white people are now becoming more concerned. As I speak to you this particular day, Nigerians are now being deported from the Republic of Ireland. On April 25th, or thereabout, 45 Nigerians were deported from the UK. We will deport the Igbos that do not want to live with us in our independent country. But those that want to live with us, we will allow them to live under the Constitution. We will deport the Hausa that doesn't want to understand that the game is no longer in Nigeria. We will deport whoever we want to deport. But let me remind all the Yorubas that your spirit, your body, your mind should now remain as an independent citizen of a Yoruba country. It's not just about the rally. The actual end result is that Babakitoye must and have every right to depend on the 60 million and go ahead and declare a Yoruba country in no time. Rather than 2027, there will be a lot of destruction and chaos. I have said it. All those governors and politicians do not have the strength. But what fẹ́ mọ̀ di abájọ ni, wọ́n fẹ́ mọ̀ di abájọ ni, àìmọ̀ di abájọ ló bí wọn ní bí wọn nínú ló fọ́ wọn lórí. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ̀ bí tí bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho fẹ́ gbà kọjá. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ̀ bí tẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá fẹ́ gbà tí Yorùbá máa fi di independent country. Òyìnbó gan wà worried. They are preparing a lot of contingency. I can assure you that America is going to leave Nigeria very soon. They're working quietly. You might not know, but I'm telling you. They will evacuate quietly before you know, you realize that empty building, all the countries around the world are preparing for the breakup of Nigeria and preparing for the nations that will take up. When Baba Akíntóyè give us the go-ahead to go out on the street, there will be what they call defiance. We will not allow anybody within Yoruba land to tell us to do this. So do not be worried. I think very program. OLAYOMI KOIKI. Koikimedia. Èdè ni 7th tí a mọ̀ sí ọjọ́ keje oṣù kẹfà 2025. As of our governors, it becomes very late when we have come out. But they have that bit of room. Coupled with Baba Akíntóyè. One thing they are trying to tell us is that we are cowards and they're also waiting in Tamashi. What did you say? There will be chaos, there will be destruction. I am saying it. Borrowed our land and has misused it for the last 110 years. Ní Nàìjíríà tí ó ti lo ìlú wa nílòkulò. Kò lò nílò kó ṣàǹfààní fọ́mọ Yorùbá. Ó lò nílò ìbànújẹ́ àti òfò àti gbogbo tí a lè sọ pé a lè tọ́ka pé ọmọlúàbí ni wá mọ́. Ibi tó lo Nàìjíríà lé wa lórí nìyẹn. Ṣèbí yẹn ló ń jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ Ìgbò lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa ṣàkàṣàkà. Tó tún sọ fún wa pé àwọn làwọn ní Ilé-Ifẹ̀. Èbí yẹn ló ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa ṣàkàṣàkà títí dé Lagos àti gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa. Ìyẹn náà làwọn Haúsá náà ṣe ń ṣe ṣàkàṣàkà lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Látara pé gbogbo kìíní àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí a fi ń sọ pé identity wa kò sí nínú Nàìjíríà. Àfi tá bá gbára wa síta tá dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí independent country. But tí bá wá wo àwọn tí wọ́n ń pera wọn ní nǹkan yìí, mò ń rí Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá. Ṣé tí wàhálà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní sí ṣé Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá lè dúró sínú Nàìjíríà? Ìbéèrè ni mò ń bi wọ́n. Ṣé tí wàhálà yẹn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní sí ṣé Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá ṣó lè dúró sínú Nàìjíríà? Ṣé Dangote lè dúró sínú Nàìjíríà? Ṣé Dangote lè kà wá mú? Ṣó lè dá wa? Ṣé Dangote bó ṣe lówó tó tí gbogbo 60 million bá dìde ṣé ó lè pin wa mọ́lẹ̀? Ṣé Bill Gates lè dá Yorùbá nation dúró? Ṣé Tinubu lè dá Yorùbá? Wọ́n lè dá dúró. But in tó máa end up ni ó máa di blood, ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ta sílẹ̀ gan, bó Yorùbá sì máa lọ. While Baba Akintoye is trying to avoid the bloodshed, I know that in my body. Mo mọ̀ pé Baba Akintoye fẹ́ avoid pé kó má di ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀, torí pé ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ kò ní mú nǹkan tó dá wá. Àmọ́ in tó máa bí òun ní Yorùbá Kingdom, Odùduwà Republic. Ṣé àwọn ọba, kí má dárúkọ, torí mo wà very careful pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba wa, ṣé àwọn ọba lè dá Yorùbá Nation dúró? Wọ́n lè dá dúró. Then kí ló wá ń fà á tí wọ́n fẹ́ make sure pé àwọn fẹ́ protect Nàìjíríà lórí àwa? I have sat down many times and think about it. Pé why tí a ṣe láti wọnú situation tí gbogbo ẹ máa di chaos ká tó exit? Kí ló dé tí a lè jókòó within the region tó ń pè ní Southwest, àtẹni tó agree pẹ̀lú wa àtàwọn tó agree àti àwọn tó ń ṣe Afẹ́nifẹ́re, kí gbogbo wa ká dẹ̀ sọ pé independent Yorùbá country, kó dẹ̀ make a declaration, kí gbogbo wa dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí build the country yẹn. But kò ní ever rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o, àfi táwa kan bá sọ fún wọn pé enough is enough. Enough is enough yẹn làwọn fẹ́ mọ bí tí enough yẹn máa gbà jáde. Ọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní pa wá kọ́ lọ́rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹni tó bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní pa wá, wọ́n jí wa gbé, ìyẹn lẹ gbé dání. Ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ Yíbò fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ kọ́ ló wà nílẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo tó bá gbà lẹ́mìí wa pé bí Yorùbá ṣe máa dá dúró, òun ló yẹ kó wà níwájú wa. Anything short of that kò lè mú kankan jáde. Kò sí news tẹ́ fẹ́ report lára Nàìjíríà tó máa mú àtúnṣe wá. Tàbá kàn report àwọn news yẹn àtàwọn tó ń sọ náà, mo kàn fi pé bóyá wọ́n kàn fi ń gbé jáde pé ká lè rí, ká lè mọ̀ ni. Bá reporting any news nínú Nàìjíríà for another 30 years kò ní mú any ìdàgbàsókè kankan wá. Torí pé nǹkan kan tí kò fi ní mú wá ni pé identity wa ó ti wà embedded nínú Nàìjíríà. Intade fi lè yọra wa síta nísìn ni pé ká pull out, ká lè rí identity yẹn, ká lè fi wá máa fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ń wá ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. But a ti wá rí pé bí bàbá wa àṣà, bàbá yẹn níta bá ń dúró de pé ká unite ká tó lọ, à ń tọra wa àlọ́bì kankan. Tàbá ní a fẹ́ unite gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá, pé lágbàtà bá ti wá ṣe unity tán ká wá tẹ̀síwájú. Kò ń ṣe pé nǹkan máa bàjẹ́, nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ already. Ẹni tó bá ní nǹkan ìtì bàjẹ́ níbi tá délé ní after 110 years, because a lè máa mú Nàìjíríà láti independent, a gbọ́dọ̀ mú láti 1914. That means pé a ti gbé pẹ̀lú ra wa for 110 years, kò dẹ̀ tí sí in tó ń pè ní identity wa tí wọ́n respect lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Àwa náà lè má respect identity wọn lórí ilẹ̀ tí wọn, but lórí ilẹ̀ tí a mọ̀ pé àwọn kan ló jà fún, títí ta fi lè máa sọ nísìn pé the Yoruba people. Mo bá fídíò kan pàdé tí bàbá wa professor tí wọ́n ṣe pẹ̀lú brother mi Ọmọlúkà 4 years ago. Ó kàn pọ́pọ̀, máa extract ẹ̀ jáde nísìn. Nígbà tí mo wá tún fídíò yẹn gbọ́, mo wá realize pé táwọn kan bá ní kò ní tí ì ṣe nísìn, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀ sí, ẹ má ẹ̀ka ìtí lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká get it right, is a delay tactics just to keep Nigeria alive. In tó lè mú kí Nigeria kó lọ sílẹ̀ lálẹ́ òun ni pé tí Baba Akintoye bá jáde kó declare Yorùbá nation. Tí Nigeria bá ti di pé a gbọ́ Nigeria mọ́ létí wa, tí à ń gbọ́ pé Yorùbá independent country ló wà lórí ilẹ̀ wa, then the game has changed. But bàbá ń lọ ní ètò gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọlọ́run ṣe fún wọn ní làákàyè. Wọ́n ń tò ètò yẹn láti 5 years And the 5 years has been fantastic. And nobody can ever say that bàbá yóò tí gbé Yorùbá débi tó yẹ kó dé. But àwọn tí à ń rò kó yá wọn máa fọwọ́ kún bàbá, wọn ò ní fọwọ́ kún bàbá. Ọmọ Yorùbá tó yẹ kó fọwọ́ kún bàbá pé kí iṣẹ́ yẹn lè tètè yá, òun náà ni president Tinubu. But Tinubu already mo kí mọ́ sí mi dáadáa, ẹ má bínú pé mo ṣe pàṣá níbẹ̀ yẹn, torí pé tí ìyá Yorùbá tó bá pé ìyá yìí gbà tí ó bí mi ó discharge mi pé ẹjù nù torí àti ráwọn ọmọ tó ń bí nísìn ní Ìbàdàn ní last month, ọmọ kékeré wọ́n bí wọ́n jù nù tó bá pé ìyá ìbí mi náà nígbà tó bí mi ní May 31st 1978, o lè má mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, 47 years old, àgbà ti dé, èmi náà ṣe ọmọ kékeré mọ́. I was born in 1978. So wọ́n expect mi pé kí n gbọ́ sí àwọn tó wà lókè, àwọn tí wọ́n wà lókè tó ń pín àwọn ní governor tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé ọmọ 47 years old àti 60 àti bàbá 90, àwa mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn bàbá wa ń bá gbogbo wa sọ̀rọ̀. Bàbá ṣé gbogbo wọn ta ló ju bàbá Akíntóyè lọ nínú gbogbo àwọn tá à ń sọ yìí? Ṣé Tinubu ju bàbá Akíntóyè lọ? ẹ wo Tinubu bó ṣe rí nísìn, ṣó lè dára ẹgbẹ́. Ìjà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ gidi gan. Ẹ tó bá ní kò ní sí ìjà, wọn kí wọn sí mi ò fẹ́ gbọ́rọ̀ yìí. Ìjà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ gidi. In tí kò fi ní sí ìjà òun ni pé àwa 60 million ta accept pa fẹ́ lọ kárẹ́dì láti defend ẹ̀ tí bàbá Akíntóyè bá ti fún wa ní all go and the green light. A máa defend ẹ̀ ní gbogbo corners ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá. Kódà bí ọmọ Ìgbò bá ṣe mẹ́kẹ́mẹ́kẹ́, à fún wọn ní ultimatum kó padà sílùú wọn torí orí ilẹ̀ wa láṣẹ wà. A ní right láti ṣe gbogbo tó bá wù wá in the first stage of preparing to get independent country. Tá bá gbà tán, businesses wọn á wà níbi tó wà. Nígbà tí wọ́n ja Biafra wọ̀ gan, wọ́n ní gbogbo lé, èmi gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, èmi ò mọ ọ̀ tí bí mi nígbà yẹn. But a gbọ́ pé gbogbo businesses wọn, ilé wọn, a bá wọn tọ́jú ẹ̀. Ọmọ Ìgbò ní right lórí ilẹ̀ wa kó sọ fún wa pé interface ṣe yìí, àwọn wà against it. Wọ́n ní right láti evacuate lọ sílùú wọn. A máa fún àwọn èèyàn opportunity pé border ló ṣí yẹn, ẹ máa gbàbẹ̀ kọjá, ní touch yín. But ẹni tó bá wà against it tó ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, a béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé kí ló dé, kí ló fà á. Òun ni gbogbo béèrè tá a ṣì ń béèrè yìí, jẹ́ mọ̀ pé a ṣì ń béèrè béèrè nísìnyí, à ń bira wa láwọn béèrè. Sanwó-Olú, why tó fẹ́ Yorùbá nation? Ṣèbọn ọmọ Yorùbá ni ẹ́? A ní ọmọ Yorùbá lòun, a ní òun fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ok. Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún, kí ló dé tó fẹ́ Yorùbá nation? A ní òun fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ká sì ṣe Nàìjíríà, ó dáa. Now, that means pé àwa àti àwọn tí wọ́n náwọn fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, a máa bára wa jà. Ẹ lọ kọ̀ yẹn sílẹ̀. Ẹ lọ kọ̀ yẹn sílẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀rá àwa àtàwọn tó náwọn fẹ́ Yorùbá nation yẹn, a máa bára wa mú kan lẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀wárí tàbá méjèèjì yẹn bá ti jọ mú kan nílẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀wárí àwọn ìyà tó kù, àwọn máa wá sit back pé lóòótọ́ àwọn tó náwọn fẹ́ Yorùbá nation yìí kò ń ṣe tẹnu. Bọ̀ bàbá Akíntóyè ò tí fẹ́ kí ó dé stage pé àwa àtàwọn yẹn máa bára wa jà. Àwọn tí mo dárúkọ yìí, ìyẹn ni bàbá yẹn ṣe ń fún wọn ní as many reasons pé ẹ má jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí di ọ̀rọ̀ in tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí, because kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà nìkan ti kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ pé wọ́n break, and Nigeria will not be the last country. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, it is not possible to wait for unity before asking for Yorùbá nation. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. If anybody is waiting that we have unity, Kimba, Yoruba, Shawọn, Adeyinka grandson, Yoruba conservative, Yoruba Arewa, àbí Yoruba Afẹ́nifẹ́re rather. Àwọn yẹn tẹ́ ń sọ pé àwọn kan impeach Tinubu. instead kó dá orúkọ mọ́ wa wọ́n ní kó impeach Tinubu èmi ọmọ bí tó ti máa impeach Tinubu and many others like that. Kódà àwọn tó wà against mi àti bàbá Kítóyè wọ́n wò mí báyìí nísìn wọ́n mọ step tó máa gbé tó kù but wọ́n mọ step táwa fẹ́ gbé but wọ́n fẹ́ béèrè pé báwo la ṣe gbé tó máa fi di independent country. I have had their audio yín máa ń dọ́dọ̀ mi lóòótọ́ but I'm not going to respond to it because ní any fact Koiki ẹ sọ fún Koiki DSS kíní kan ṣé ta bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbàsàgbàsà ṣé DSS lè kó gbogbo wa ṣé wọ́n lè kó gbogbo 60 million Yorùbá sínú barracks tí bàbá Kítóyè bá ní ká jáde láàárọ̀ láníṣe kó di woro sí woro bí àṣà àrà ó lé tẹ́ntẹ́ kó di fàájá ṣé wọ́n lè kó gbogbo wa kọ́kọ́ gbogbo wa nísìn pé ó yá ẹ ráp gbogbo wọn up àti Koiki ẹ lọ jù wọ́n sínú prison bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbé Nnamdi Kanu sínú prison no níbo ló máa gbà kọjá ṣé wọ́n kàn máa kó gbogbo 60 million wọ́n máa kó wa lọ sí north ni wọ́n lọ tì wá sínú prison so ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí mọ̀ pé freedom ìyàn fẹ́ jà fún ni òun lẹ ṣì ń sọ ṣẹ́dẹ̀ tó bá ṣì ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́pàá àti DSS nínú movement yìí ẹ̀ tí mọ̀ pé fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation tàbá ṣì ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé ọlọ́pàá fi mú mi DSS máa gbé wa àìtí ṣẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó lọ ń bust yẹn torí pé àìtí give order àti go ahead ni tó bá give go ahead nísìn ní state kankan DSS ọlọ́pàá àti sójà wọn ní lè ṣe kankan lórí state yẹn but torí pé wọ́n fi strategic àtọgbọ́n àtòye tọ́lọ̀ fún Yorùbá torí wọ́n ever defeat wa rí lórí ilẹ̀ wa kódà nígbà tí ojúkú ń bọ̀ tó dé ọ̀rẹ́ wọ́n fi wọ́n pé ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá ni wá lóòótọ́ àwọn kan máa ń pè mí Koiki fi ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Biafra sílẹ̀ mo ní mo lè fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ mo sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yìn yá wa torí tẹ bá ní ká fi Biafra sílẹ̀ àwọn tó wà honest wà nú wọn tó fẹ́ lọ ẹ jẹ́ ká push wọn kó lọ ṣẹ̀wárà àwọn tó kù tán láwọn ò ní lọ yẹn àwọn yẹn gangan ni obstacle tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nísìn àwọn yẹn la fẹ́ deal pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn Ìgbò yẹn la máa deal pẹ̀lú bọ́tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé ká fi Biafra sílẹ̀ that means pé ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí energy tó wà láàrin Yorùbá àti Biafra ká fi fọ́ Nàìjíríà nìyẹn ẹ fẹ́ delay movement nìyẹn mo sorry ẹ fẹ́ delay ìrìn àjò yìí because àwọn ṣé nísìn ṣé ẹ máa sọ fún mi nísìn pé torí pé àwọn Ìgbò wọ́n ń ṣe báṣabàṣa ní Lagos State ní Ondo ní Ogun State ẹ wá torí ẹ̀ sọ pé kọ́ máa fẹ́ Biafra fáwọn tó fẹ́ Biafra ẹ jẹ́ kọ́ fẹ́ Biafra wọn ẹ jẹ́ káwọn máa laná lókè káwa náà máa ṣe kíni ká máa laná nísàlẹ̀ bọ̀tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé torí pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation má máa sọ̀rọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu má máa sọ̀rọ̀ Simon Ekpa torí bọ́ ṣe mú Simon Ekpa torí bọ́ ṣe mú Nnamdi Kanu torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò tí ì débi tó yẹ kó dé nì ṣé mọ̀ pé Biafra ti lọ tán nígbà civil war wọ́n ti lọ tán but àwa Yorùbá là jẹ́ kó lọ Biafra ti lọ pátápátá tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n ti exit Nàìjíríà but in tó fi ń sọ pé Yorùbá ló ní ọgbọ́n yẹn ẹ fi tó kù sílẹ̀ fáwọn tí wọ́n ń tọ́jà àwọn leaders wa lókè káwa táwa jẹ́ àwa followership wọn káwa máa jókòó ká máa dúró de that final button ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dàbí Amẹ́ríkà nísìn kò lè pa gidi lọ attack North Korea wọ́n bí bàbá Amẹ́ríkà dá wọ́n bí gbogbo tó ń pè ní America structure dá kó lọ attack North Korea wọ́n mọ̀ pé button kan ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ọmọ àlè yẹn torí ọmọ àlè ni torí pé inú ilé tí ọmọ àlè bá wà á máa sọ fún wọn pé òun máa bà nǹkan jẹ́ ọmọ àlè ti wà láàrin wa àwọn ló ń bà nǹkan jẹ́ so tẹ́ bá wọ́n sọ nísìn pé ẹ fẹ́ Yorùbá nation wọ́n máa bà nǹkan jẹ́ ju bó ṣe dá lọ mò ń wo Tinubu ó wá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ wo àwọn tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn kan ló ń pè ní Ṣàgórì ìwọ́n ń bá ọmọ Ìgbò ìjà tẹ́ ń bá ọmọ Ìgbò jà ẹ ṣe bá Ṣàgórì jà ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ Ṣàgórì ẹ̀yin rí Ìgbò as our enemy but ẹ rí Ṣàgórì tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Tinubu as your enemy when Ṣàgórì fúnra rẹ̀ can be the next governor ó lè mú ọmọ ẹ̀ wá láti France kó wá di governor mọ́ yín lórí ní Lagos state, but ẹ rí yẹn èyí tó yẹ kí a smell everybody, ká smell wọn, ká má fi kan sílẹ̀ fún kan. Ẹ má mú Igbo as pé àwọn nìkan ni enemy. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú Igbo as enemy, ká mú Ṣàgórí as enemy, ká mú Haúsá Fúlàní, ká dẹ̀ mú àwọn Yorùbá tó ń bẹ láàrin wa as enemy, because àwọn yẹn la máa kọ́kọ́ take out. If you are still in this, ò ń bẹ̀rù ọlọ́pàá, o ò tí mọ tó gbé dání. Mo ní lọ́sàn-án, mo ní kò ṣe àti lọ Nàìjíríà ní problem. Àkọ́ńtà ti yà. But ní Yorùbá ló lọ́gbọ́n. Ọgbọ́n yẹn nísìnyí, ó kù tí bàbá àti ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ ló ń finalize. Ẹ jẹ́ kó finalize ẹ̀ tán délẹ̀. Wọ́n lè ṣe sọ, kí ló ṣe police station ìwọ́n station yìí? Because tẹ́gbọ́n tí bàbá àṣà sọ pé kí Ìgbòho fi ohùn yẹn síta, àwọn fẹ́ gbọ́ ohùn yẹn. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tí Ìgbòho bá fi ohùn síta, mo sọ fún yín, tí Ìgbòho bá fi ohùn síta kò sí ọjọ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. Calculator tó ní sí orí wọn ti bàbá Akíntóyè, they are 5 ni wọ́n tó wọn lẹ́yìn, àwọn deputy wọn wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wọn, gbogbo structure wọ́n dúró. Ẹ má fi ọ̀rọ̀ bí fún against Yorùbá nation. Kódà àwọn ṣe báwa ṣe ń push àwọn náà yìí sì ká push so that kí ọ̀rọ̀ tiwọn náà jáde. Let me give an example now. Structure àwọn onísìn níbo ni Finland bá gbé àmọ́, because the structure ti gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀mí tó ṣì ń lò ìbò ní Nàìjíríà, tá a bá fohùn síta pé gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá látòkè délẹ̀ from Kwara to Lagos state, no company, no organization, no country can use Nigeria láti fi operate lórí ẹwà mọ́. Bí bàbá Akíntóyè bá fi ohùn yẹn sáré, ó pè ní any company, any government lórí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, that means prayer has happened. But ẹ má jẹ́ kí body wa, mind wa, soul wa change into wà lẹ́mìí wa. Kí ni nǹkan tó wà lẹ́mìí 6 people? And that should be where we stand. And we must not feel lórí jókòó. And I welcome you once again. The structure is there to run our government as quickly as possible. The structure is already there, also available. Tí bàbá Akíntóyè bá declare Yorùbá nation lálẹ́, structure tó máa gbé ó ti ready, both the diaspora and those at home. But the question I'm asking again is, àwọn wo ni wọ́n fight back so that Nigeria still remain one? Àwọn wo ló ń fight back? Àwọn tó ń fight back, they are pé kí Nigeria ó continue to 60 million Yoruba people that want the total exit. And we must never be of them. Gbogbo tí Tinubu fi ṣe structure tó náà fi structure lé ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. Gbogbo aṣáájú Bọ́lá Ahmed ilẹ̀ build structure yẹn. And the structure of the gbogbo tó fi ṣe pé òun ni ìtàn pè lé ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni. And I pity àwọn ọba Yorùbá because aṣáájú Bọ́lá Tinubu máa fi ó máa bá between the 60 million Yoruba people that are now saying that an independent country la fẹ́, Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ, ó máa fi tiẹ̀ kó bá gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti Kwara títí dé Lagos state. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ti sọ pé if we have an independent country and it becomes bloody, the chances that our kings will survive it is very, very limited. People are saying that. I believe that gbogbo àwọn ọba tó ń pẹ́pẹ́nu tó ń ṣe bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ tá gbé dání kò ní any important. I can only say to them kó padà sínú chambers wọn, kó accept now that 60 million Yoruba people do not want to be part of Nigeria anymore. I want them to go back, kó padà sínú chambers wọn, nínú àwọn palaces wọn, kó jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn team wọn, because ọba kankan ní palace kankan lọ́nà àwọn tí wọ́n jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ àwọn caucus. Kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń rò pé ǹjẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè tó ń sọ nísìn pé ká gbéra ńlẹ̀ táwọn dẹ̀ sì fẹ́ defend Nigeria, kí ni ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ if they refuse to accept the truth and nothing but the truth? Màá tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, gbogbo ọba tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, we plead, ẹ má jẹ́ kí Tinubu kó fi yín sáàárín àwa 60 million Yoruba people against ẹ̀yin ọba wa, because that's exactly what Tinubu is doing right now. Àwọn ọba ń try láti wà on the side of Tinubu than Baba Akíntóyè. We know that already. Majority of them, bí àwọn few ló kọ́ wà lẹ́yìn Baba Akíntóyè. But tá bá wo àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn the major ọba, without mentioning their names, tá bá wo list wọn, kò sí kankan tó wà lẹ́yìn Yorùbá nation. But the same set of àwọn ọba yìí, gbogbo wọn ló wà lẹ́yìn Tinubu, because they speak on behalf of Nigeria. Ọba tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ on behalf of Nigeria, níbi tí adé tí information ti wà níta nípa ìran Yorùbá, then we remember that these are our number one enemy as well. Àwọn ọba yẹn, they are number one enemies. Tinubu play politics with the lives of 60 million Yoruba people, and we need to stop that now. I gotta challenge Tinubu. I gotta challenge gbogbo structure tí Tinubu ní ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, so that kí Yorùbá nation lè dúró. Gbogbo tó ń pè ní structure pátá, we must now challenge it, because it's not ready to listen. Gbogbo structure tó ní from Lagos all the way down to Kogi State to Kwara State, we must challenge it with whatever we can. Structure must be breaking to pieces. Tá a bá break gbogbo structure yẹn, Yoruba nation will not come before 2027. And Tinubu will go for election, and he will declare himself back as the president with or without the vote. Gbogbo structure tí Tinubu ní pátá, we must start challenging that structure. The challenge in the court, ilé òṣòro court, fẹ́ lọ sí court, ẹ lọ challenge it now. You cannot defeat anything Tinubu in the court, because structure Nigeria, the structure that we are going to use is the structure where ibi tí Yorùbá ń bẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ before Nigeria la fi challenge Tinubu, and that means we will not accept anything the structure of APC. Gbogbo structure tí APC bá ní pátá ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti PDP, we must take it out, because àwọn yẹn gangan ni obstacle yín going forward into 2027. We can see them. Gbogbo àlàní wọn kan ṣe video, àwọn politicians, every now and then they're coming out, continue to tell Yoruba people the lies of the same British. This is now the time to confront them. We need to confront them now, and we cannot delay it, because tẹ́ ẹ bá confront wọn, kí gbogbo àlọ́ sọ sílẹ̀, election máa ṣẹlẹ̀ in 2027 and nothing is going to happen. So this is the time to go and challenge those structures. Whatever the structure are within Yoruba land, we will not accept that structure anymore. We take it out. We take that structure out, because Baba Akíntóyè ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ for 5 years continuously, telling them nothing but the truth, and nothing but the truth in Nigeria is not meant for. But they're not going to listen to Baba Akíntóyè, because these are same set of people that still wants to defend Nigeria and protect Nigeria. You know these people. To confront them is to ask them. And if you ask them and they're not ready to back down, we'll let them know that there will be chaos and destruction, because if you follow structure any political thing in Yoruba land again, structure anything short of that, election will hold Yoruba land again in 2027. Anything short of that, election, we go ahead whether our people vote or not. And that means the Yoruba nation will have to wait another 4 years because they will defend it with their own blood, just as they are doing so right now. But we need to go out now and stop this structure because they're going to use that structure to keep Nigeria alive. And they want to keep Nigeria alive. It doesn't matter for how long. And one politicians, both Southwest, we need to stop them. We got to stop every single one of them and tell them, we, the Yorubas, are not going in line with your structure anymore. Ethnic privilege in democracy for 26 years. Failed country for 110 years. That's more than enough to end the structure and set the bottom. And that is what we need to do. And we need to do it very fast, without any delay. The longer we delay it, the more Nigeria will continue to break. And the more Nigeria is breaking, the more the lives of our people will still be backwards with the fake identity. We have to be aggressive to get our country. Very, very aggressive. If you are not aggressive to get our country, then what are we going to be aggressive for? Mokimisa Abiodun George, Aluka Adebola Muke, Olariwaju Taiwo, Peter Olade, a very good evening and welcome. Oluwaseun Itunu, Aki Grama, Aki Sheye, Aki Mukisa. Please share the program. Yoruba Nation is not just one on social media. How with the structure? This is the game. Tibuati hour within the Yoruba Nation. We must start preparing even before the announcement of the rally. I know the rally is going to bring Yoruba Nation. I know that. I know that many of you know that as well. Because it's a rally will be only Yoruba Nation. But and we allow the structure to name, then the rally will fail and we will not get an independent country. Because the rally will take down all the structures within Yoruba land as political. It just rally party will take down anything. I am not talking about the individual now. There are many structures within Yoruba land. Don't get Nigeria invested in our lives. We've got to be aggressive and we've got to take it out as quickly as possible. In case there are more who can. So when Babadi Toye is talking to the governors and politicians, telling them, Muki Yawako, Pakende Salami, very good evening, Boko. Macron, Grill, good evening, Muke, Ruby Giant Plan B, Okudari, Bubuino Muki, Yoruba Freedom. I know I've not been on, but I can tell you, my spirit, my mind has not left Yoruba Nation yet. Because I know some of you, Tebari Wafunjo Meta, Muki Mr. Tajuddin Ibrahim, Muki Nibaraba, Muki Nikiti, Muki Mamu prepare for the Yoruba. Or Yoruba Nation, Koja State, Amber Oropa, Amber Fura, Amber Navy, Amber government. We must never be scared of all these institutions because these are the structure of Nigeria and they have to go down. If not, we're not going to get this country and we'll just lament again next year, in 2 years' time, until we come out and do election. We must not give any room after Tabati Daddy because I don't know how long the rally will hold before Baba will move to the next day because I am not privileged to know everything Baba has on the table. So that you do not go out again and start quoting me as many of you have done in the past. I am just giving us what it might take to build our country. Having a country, you will not have to wait for the white people that have already destroyed that same identity for 110 years. Britain is not going to back Biafra and Yoruba. These are the two most powerful tribes, indigenous people, that can now bring down the structure of Nigeria. But our paper Ipoja, that are the Biafrans, because we don't want them. But there are some Igbos that are still also keeping the same structure of Nigeria. So, hey, blame people, you will blame your own people. You got to blame your people. You cannot continue to blame the Igbos when your own people are still want to keep Nigeria as well. Those are the structure you got to take down. When the Igbo knows that we are taking out the structure of Nigeria from our own end, Igbo will have to sit back and understand that the structure is gone. Some of the structure are your banking institution. And when we not operate in Nigeria for those structure must now, we must start telling them, go to the bank, go to Yoruba. Go and start telling them that the Yoruba people want to lead and they must now understand that so that if you do not go and tell Otedola that has the biggest share in the first bank Nigeria will not operate in Yoruba land without anything apart from policies structured to work. One of the powerful tools that they're using is the banking system. That structure must be won. And we give the final warning. The GT Bank must be won. Wema Bank must be won. Access Bank. all the banks, okay, whatever the banking structure in Yoruba land, we must now tell them that Yoruba country is coming. And they must start preparing for independent Yoruba country. These are the structures that I'm talking about. Dangote must be given warning that the structure belongs to Yoruba land, not the Fulanese on Yoruba land. The Igbos must also be given the warning. The Hausas, the foreigners that live in Yoruba land, we must start telling them the truth. These are the work that you can do. These are the work that you can also start preparing for. So that we are telling them now. The Yoruba nation, self-determination, freedom, we will be exploring intellectual property and economic rights. We will work with countries. Okay, this man 1, 2, 3. But many structures do not want to go out of Yoruba land and they are enriching and losing Nigeria. But port authority will be shut down if we are serious about Yoruba country, but we must warn them ahead. Ship go on the dock, so they are, if not, there will be many multiple casualties. The more the machine has said we keep ship from our dock, so you do not control the structure. And you can start thinking about many things that I might not know, that you know, in terms of this structure. We must warn the Nigerian Stock Exchange in Yoruba land that structure is okay, the building is fine, but that structure will no longer run under Nigeria in Yoruba land. There must be one. You must warn the NTA because our land go to the federal government. So the power of Yoruba nation is about just coming out and say Yoruba nation not going back, and you do not want to attack this structure. Forget it, you are going nowhere. Or you can do 1 hour. And there's not going to be any Yoruba country. But I don't want to say there will not be any Yoruba country because I know 60 million are now determined. Today, I'm closing the bank. I have a first bank account. I am ready to sacrifice that first bank so that I can have a Yoruba banking system to operate rather than the first bank. If you are ready for Yoruba nation, we must tell these structures that are operating in Yoruba land that the end game is coming for them. We don't have any problem with them operating in Yoruba land, but that structure should not operate as a structure. Last year, because both Tinubu keep the Yoruba banking system to know in Nigeria is operated. But what the politician banking system on low. That is one of the biggest structures that needs to go down in Africa country. The more the banking system is still operating, you will not have the kind of money like Tinubu or your average politicians that are going to but Yoruba nation should be local state to operate Yoruba land that should have been enriched by people for the people, but you live in Nigeria, we must destroy that structure so that I don't know you. The more that you know state and the rest of the governors, that means they still want you back to remain in that captive association. We must take out that structure. The airport does not belong to anybody, either Yoruba. That structure needs to understand that we want it to operate even during the rally, after the rally. Nobody wants to destroy any airport. But if we are running that airport as a Nigerian airport while we are still out complaining about starting a country, forget it. You are not ready to get a country. So better come and solve fact for our country or come and pepper to go abroad. Yes, the airport can still be functioning, but we will not accept anything in Nigeria because new airport here, I can fly like it, but they go document Yoruba, that's philosophy state, and I want it to happen during the rally. So much airport will not document Yoruba for all Yoruba need also those states. No, need Nigerian passport. That is the kind of structure I'm talking about. Nobody has said take out the airport and that airport doesn't happen anymore. We'll send you to anyway. During the rally, I want you to say you are going to those states. If the airport don't do any airline that will take me from those states during the rally, we will not use the Nigerian passport. I'm at the airport here, I can fly out. People will go Ghana. Nigerian passport, people will do Nigerian passport. Yoruba document money, Yoruba document, Nigerian passport. But we did Yoruba and that's the rally. These are the kind of things we need to start thinking. Yoruba nation, no. We must be determined and we must be ready for whatever the calamity and the chaos that's going to happen. Because we think of anything short of that we are ready. Appreciate it. And 2027 will happen. It's just 2 years down the line. That structure needs to go. The power needs to go back to the indigenous people of the day that started rally. If you're going from Nigeria, from Yoruba land, I am not going to know. Open the republic. No custom should be able to stop you. Over crossover. Custom to stop it. We must ask them. Structure will know. Just structure Nigeria will know. And structure the Yoruba. Anything short of that, we are not ready. Anybody over cross. We must tell them that we want it to be there. They're not going to attack you. Because they never man brother. But structure will know. Directive will know. Check directive to federal government. The man go directive to federal government. They're going to not. Because here you go. Ọmọ yìí kò bá wà ní custom tàbí fẹ́ cross border tó dẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé a lè cross pé a ní Nigerian passport àbí wọ́n dispute ọmọ Yorùbá ni wa then ó jẹ́ pé orí òpin yẹn ó ti gbàgbé pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà wà nìyẹn because locally alone they open their border nobody knows who is coming from the jail or the chart everybody has saw the video of the invasion again by the Ocean Nigeria attack but kí ni yàtọ̀ chart in Nigeria so the only the video that's going on in circulation and watch Ocean Nigeria and basically are saying Nigeria is a chart and that means these are the people that take over your country or your land but the country can't never people of your country or Nigeria so I hope you know the importance and meaning of your country every country we want to solve in country. So if you cross, the moment we are out of rally, we must understand that that's country. So go away, but I'm right now. I'm not to take another country. Because I got it. I don't want your mission. That's what I need to do. Whatever. I got 2 years, 5 years. So we stand there. You about 60 million people still there. Because we need to deal with structure to deliver. You deal with that structure. Structure is not only that structure without this. All the one that that's the kind of thing I'm telling you to pray for. tí mo gbé ó lọ structure Nàìjíríà pátápátá fúnra mi àbẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣé káàdùn bá mi ṣòro. Okay, when you go to Chad, when Mali, as Mali to Chad in Nigeria, these are people that are coming. And they're coming very fast. If we leave them, they will invade your land. They will take your people. And the Nigerian military can no longer protect us. So, I understand that we want Baba to come out and give us the go-ahead. But if by any time, she will be to see. Because if the Baba will defeat it, the Baba she will not defeat one. Because you will not defeat it. Everyone knows that. I want like that going Nigeria government. Àwọn náà lè la máa jagun tì sí àdèmá já àjàyè la máa jà kò dìgbà tí a bá jà tó gbé ìbọn dání. Those structures must go down, especially structure tó bá ní òun ò fi gbọ́ràn. I want us to listen to this. This was 4 years ago. Perchance mo fi bá pàdé. This was Babakito speaking 4 years ago. Now bring 4 years back to the front and you realize that gbogbo tí mo ti sọ pẹ̀lú tí Babakito sọ ní 4 years ago. Baba is still on the right track and is doing everything kí Yorùbá fi kúrò nínú Nigeria, but Tinubu is doing everything to keep us in Nigeria. We have the savior and we have the enemy. Who is our savior? Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Who is the enemy? Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, we have it very well. Ọ̀tá tí a ní nísìn òun ni Bọ́lá Tinubu. Olùbàdàn nísìn tí Ọlọ́run fún wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn Olúwa Akintoye. But Tinubu, if ever you have a share, please send it to all the APC group and tell them that structure will go down. Yeah, we mean it. Structure APC and PDP and Labour Party will not continue in Yoruba. So these are structures that are holding us back. And they are determined to hold us back until they are satisfied. Neither of them are satisfied. Don't be deceived. Pretend we use your politician until they would never accept the breakup of Nigeria. The barrack with the breakup of Nigeria is not going to come easy. So that she 3 days fasting. You know that power. The fasting is just to clear the airway for us spiritually to go and do what we need to do. This is the time to face the reality. Yoruba Nation the bill after if you still have the political structure within Yoruba land. How can we have 230 people and only 78 have just thumbs up? It means that we have enemies within. If you are not an enemy to this Yoruba independent country, you will not just watch, you will have shared this broadcast to all your contacts. And you will also do a thumbs up and you will comment. Because that is part of the structure. But if you cannot even do this, how do you then expect us to leave Nigeria out of our land? We are going to chase everything Nigeria away from our land. That is what we're going to do. But Nigeria, I think Toba accept it because nínú ilẹ̀ yìí lòun ti ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ajé òun rẹ̀ ready pé kóun lọ òun máa make sure pé gbogbo tẹ́ bá ti sọ lòun máa tẹ̀lé. That will remain in Yoruba land. Anything short of that, we must not give them the room. So, Sherry, we must not give them the room to breathe. We would not give them the room to become and breathe. We will keep our eyes, our ears, our nose, and our blood. We will keep it in front of them. Millions of people have died because of the negligence of us not doing something quicker before today. And the only enemy that we have today is Bola Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu from Osun State that claims to be a Yoruba man is the only enemy that Yoruba people have today that doesn't want Yoruba people to have an independent country. And we must take down all the structure. The structure to run from Bodilon to TVC to anything that we can think of, which is more important, the APC structure in Yoruba lands go down. And that means we must prepare for conflict. Because those that are within that APC in Yoruba land do not know that Tinubu is using them against 60 million Yoruba people for their true identity. Because if it has more identity, Tinubu nobody knows who is this man called Tinubu. Who is Bola Tinubu? Can Tinubu give us his full background like I can give you my own full background? That means we will not sit back. We will destroy everything that is the structure of Tinubu according to when Babakito tells us to go out. We will not give them any room anymore in Yoruba land. Because that is why you don't even know the identity of Tinubu. Why we want to bring our identity out. Tinubu wants to keep our identity in Nigeria. That must stop before 2027. Anything short of that, forget Yoruba Nation. And I will come back to London and I'll go and do what I have to do. But we're not going to give up, because by doing that, we have now given the room for Nigeria that Tinubu wants to keep alive, because Tinubu himself cannot guarantee his life tomorrow. But Yoruba land can guarantee that it will still be there, as it has been there for 14,000 years. Tinubu dàgbà tó lẹ̀ Yorùbá, and we will not give him the room anymore. Tinubu dàgbà tó ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, our generation Tinubu dàgbà tó ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, and we don't even know the true identity of Bola Tinubu that will now tell us that he will take us out again into Nigeria 2027. That structure will be destroyed. The structure will be destroyed if they are not going to align with Yoruba nation. Anything short of that, I forget the Yoruba nation. I got something to do. Going forward now, we will not sit back and allow you, because our more identity will not put anything away. Àwọn tá jẹ́ ọmọ nílẹ̀ bọ́sẹ̀, àwọn gan ló yẹ ká máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ Tinubu pé a ní Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan, because Tinubu kọ́ ló wẹ̀. How can we sit back and allow this man that nobody knows his true identity to now keep our own true identity again in Nigeria? That must stop. So ìjọba mọ this money of Tinubu that nobody knows true identity. Èyí tí Tinubu lo family name yìí, ẹ má kí Tinubu fi tẹ̀kọ́ bá yín. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Tinubu tí àmọ́ rúkẹ́ gangan, ẹ má jẹ́ kó fi tẹ̀kọ́ bá yín. Ẹ pè tí sì pé Koiki sọ̀rọ̀ pé a máa make sure pé àní gbà fún Tinubu go forward. Tó àmà àgbègbè wa àgbègbè wa, but going forward we will not allow him. We will shut down the whole noise system that Tinubu is working in Britain and France. We will not give them room anymore. Okay, well, like I said, ẹ má jẹ́ kí Tinubu fi tẹ̀kọ́ bá yín, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ni family nìyẹn, because it will be a big disaster. Because kó má yẹ pé gbogbo family yẹn gan tó ń pè ní Tinubu can go into extinction, because it's going to be bloody. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ni family name tẹ́ni pé ayé ní Tinubu yẹn, be very very careful, because Tinubu máa fi tẹ̀kọ́ bá yín. Tinubu tó guarantee life ẹ̀ títí dàrọ́ la. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá can guarantee their life, pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí ó ti exist for thousands of years and it will remain so. So tell Tinubu, the game is now already up. Game to play títán nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ pé pátá pé ẹ máa defend Tinubu, ẹ̀mí máa bá lọ. Pátá látòkè délẹ̀ lọ́mọ kékeré lágbàlagbà, ẹ̀mí máa bá lọ. Whoever will defend Tinubu going forward before 2027, so that kílẹ̀ Yorùbá má bàa wá síbi tó ń bọ̀, then prepare that ẹ̀mí náà máa bá lọ. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ yìí la máa fi ta ilẹ̀ lẹ́yìn. You saw how the blood flow yesterday. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá àtẹnitó lówó àtẹnitó lówó lọ fi pẹran nígbà tí ẹ máa mú làárọ̀ yìí. Òjò àlùbáríkà ló lọ. Òjò ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni ó fọ gbogbo ẹ̀yẹ yẹn lọ. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ yín la máa fi fọ gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ pátá tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ máa mọ́. Òjò á máa gbá gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ sínú ocean. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Tinubu kó bá yín, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ràn Tinubu. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Tinubu sọ fún wa pé Nigeria going forward 2027 there will be disaster and chaos across Yoruba land, especially if they defend it. Don't try to defend this enemy of Yoruba land. Ọ̀tá Yorùbá ni kò need more than 4 years to have given us a full independent Yoruba country. But ọ̀tá Yorùbá ni, because kò ní identity. Ọ̀tá lẹ̀ Yorùbá ni Tinubu, gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ, because ìdí tí kò ṣe ní identity náà nìyẹn. Because tó bá ní identity ni orúkọ bàbá ẹ̀ máa lò títí di wákàtí. Kò lè lórúkọ bàbá ẹ̀, orúkọ tó ń lò yẹn. That is exactly what he wants to do, keep us all 60 million in Yoruba land. Bàbá kí tó lè fọ àwọn ọmọlé ni kò fi àwọn ọmọlé kankan rárá, àbùkù ni, alábùkù èèyàn ni. Ọlọ́run ti kẹ́, Ọlọ́run ti fún ní gbogbo tó fẹ́. In tó kù pé kó ṣe fún ọmọ Yorùbá nísìnyí pé kó fún ọmọ Yorùbá 60 million independent country. Kò ṣe pé kó tó máa sọ 2027. 2027 will renew Nigeria again, and we will not and must not give room for that. If not, your life will remain worst, because Onira identity. Tinubu is the enemy of Yoruba land. And anything that is the enemy of Yoruba land must be taken down. Whatever the structure that they have built, Tinubu accept the killer Yoruba tó máa lọ kó dá dúró bí bàbá tó ṣe sọ fún nínú lẹ́tà. Anything short of that, Tinubu must expect chaos that will come to his head. And this is the firepower that we have in our hands. Agbára tó wà lọ́wọ́ wa nísìnyí. Agbára láti break down gbogbo tó ń pè ní jagaban structure nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Torí ọ̀tá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní Tinubu. Tó bá ní the number one enemy lẹ́ni, òun ni ó confuse àwọn ọ̀gá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n lè fi gbó sókè. Tinubu ló wà behind it. Òun gangan ní the obstacle tó ń destroy gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni for his own agenda to keep Nigeria for Britain and France and all the criminal European countries. The longer Nigeria is alive, the better for them. Agbọ́dọ̀ your gas, the oxygen rather. Oxygen to Nigeria being breathing, agbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́n yọ. Moving forward, anything short of that Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself and your family. You don't solve it for you. You should worry about yourself because your identity is no longer yours. Don't worry about me. But I am worried as Baba Akintoye and Igboho and the rest of the team that are working that 60 million Yoruba people must now be free and be free for the rest of their life. We are not fighting Tinubu, but we are telling him. Just as Baba Akintoye told him last month with the letter. We keep Tinubu to Rolex. Wait, Agaba, Rolex, Rodada. Man, they can't be to get foreigner. But to be able to all of Fwenny, Ikatige. Top of the end to Badu, July. Tabati Mo Basanjo, then we should start talking about Tinubu. MKO did not have that privilege. Oh, my Lord, look better in Musibe. Go shut but I need to know what she said. I want to share it. We'll shut down everything like I said. I've said it all the time. Tẹ̀bá pé ọlọ́run máa kó sínú Tinubu ọlọ́run lè kó sínú Tinubu because àṣetánì èèyàn ni torí èṣù ọmọ èṣù lèmi a lè gauge Tinubu pé èṣù but àṣetánì the devil in him is not going to give you a vanish. If anybody thinks that this evil man tẹ̀ wò arákùnrin ó bọ̀ wá fún any country if anybody thinks that Tinubu is going to give you a Yoruba country ẹ̀tùtù ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ èmi ò mọ̀ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi ò rí náà but this man tó ń pè ní Bọ́lá Tinubu yìí ọ̀tálẹ̀ Yorùbá gidi ni because gbogbo structure tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ fẹ́ kò fẹ́ àwọn ibi tó ti ṣọwà I am not sure he's a Yoruba man. Tó bá jọmọ Yorùbá gidi kò sọ̀rọ̀ ìfipá wà láǹsọ̀mọ́ nísìnyí kí n kàn ìpele nípa tábàgbàdé wa transformation máa dé 6 months lágbàdo àkọ́kọ́ ní káwọn máa gbé àgbàdo àti cassava káwọn ẹ̀tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ máa jẹun àkọ́kọ́ feed ara wa olúkálùkù ayọkùn ayọ̀ ara ẹ̀wọ́n ní good health àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí àwa fold shoulder wa olúkálùkù wa bọ́ sí ibi tó fẹ́ bọ́ sí to build the economy of Yoruba land but for now you cannot be talking about going to build an economy when you have the obstacle tó ń pè ní Tinubu is the obstacle and that obstacle as long as it's still there lóòótọ́ Ọlọ́run lè ṣe yanu kí ni àtọ́nà lè ṣe kò lè kó sí Ọlọ́run lè kó sí Tinubu lé pé tó máa fún ní country and you cannot pray for his death now because it will bring Shetima into the power so ìyanu tó kù ni pé kọ́lọ̀ fún bàbá wa kí tó yẹ ní strength at his age at where he is right now to go further and do the needful for the 60 million Yoruba people without any more delay. Baba needs to go forward and Igboho must give him that endorsement so that kí ohun yẹn lè jáde. The two of them are the only one that we are waiting for. Àwọn méjì tá à ń dúró dè náà nìyẹn. Ohun olóyè Igboho àti ohun Baba Akintoye. 60 million people are waiting for them to give their voice out. 60 million Yoruba people are waiting for Igboho and Baba Akintoye. In Donda, we were doing this in here. So, kàkàkà channel àdúrà wa lọ sí the devil don pè ní Tinubu. Let's channel our energy. We keep Baba Akintoye àti Igboho. Kọ́lọ̀ fún wọn ní ìmánì láti fi fún yẹn síta. Kọ́wọ́n yẹn kó má pè bó ṣe yẹ lọ́wọ́. Because the 60 million will defend Yoruba land with their blood. I will be one of them. That is the only firepower that we're waiting for. The voice of Igboho and Baba Akintoye. But the enemies of Nigeria are also pushing to make sure that the voice doesn't come out. Most certainly before the end of May. I told you all. The enemies doesn't want Baba Akintoye and Igboho to release their voice and video. Because if the two of them come out tonight, we're now deputies one, and make the announcement that we are all coming out tonight, that is the end of Nigeria. And I understand that many of you that are concerned and worried, but our prayer is let the Spirit and the God of the land guide them to the final stage. Nigeria cannot defeat us. Yoruba land has never been defeated before. In the history of Yoruba people for the last 14,000 years plus, we were defeated. I say no reason why we should be scared, worried, or concerned. And that is why tonight I say, and I thought, nothing must change our mind, body, spirit, and soul. And you are change it. Body. System mind to bad that body and stand well. Even though I don't. But this spirit about the law, as long as our spirit is still in this body, everything must stand on independent Yoruba country. And we should be ready to destroy the structure of Nigeria on our territory. This structure of Abonio. This structure of Abonio, they don't have to destroy it. We leave it as it is. But this structure of Abonio, who are the structure? Your government, your deputy, your commissioner, your speaker, your house of assembly, your senators. If they refuse to listen to us, then we will destroy that structure that we are talking about in Nigeria. And we will structure it. And I will go and talk it so that structure will not last. Even if the king cross our line, that structure needs to go. Go back don't cross line here. That structure is to go, and that's the end of that era of that structure. Against the structure, I expect we must be preparing our body and spirit to finish this job. If not, then the country we are wasting our energy and our time. We must confront and tell them now But in their eyes, they against your nation. Independent country. We must now warn you that we will destroy everything. We sell our job. And that is what we should prepare our mind for. But if your mind is still having sympathy with the Nigerian structure, oh, if you have country, Nigeria needs to go down so that Yoruba country can be built. You cannot have two drivers riding the vehicle. Nigeria has driven Yoruba indigenous people for too long, and it has not brought anything more than chaos. That we will structure to bring Nigeria together. Structure to bring Nigeria to 1914. Although structure and that is why we are where we are today, after 110 years. Most of our people do not even know the left and the right. So Nigeria needs to be destroyed so that the Yoruba indigenous people can go forward. Let's see what I did today and come again. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Share the program, send it to people, send the Labour Party. INEC is one of the structures in Yoruba land. It will go down. All the INEC offices in Yoruba land, until they accept without convert they see a Yoruba INEC moving forward, then that structure needs to come down. Those are the structures that keep Nigeria together. Okay, our back end team. Let's listen to this and coming back. This video, thank God, voice Baba, I know the volume is not that loud. I'll see if I can switch it using another device. Let me switch it from here so that voice will come out a little bit louder. This was 4 years ago. I want us to ask ourselves, nothing has changed within our father. Even after 4 years, Baba is still standing on the fact that this is not about restructuring anymore. You cannot restructure Nigeria. These are still enemies. Anybody talking about a restructured Nigeria? They are part of the enemies of the Yoruba people. And just like Dr. said that I quote in one of these videos that we have played a couple of times, it is just too late for restructuring Nigeria. What are you restructuring? This country that has completely finished, this country that has destroyed the image, the Omoluabi of Yoruba people. What are you going to restructure about it? Let me find that video before we go back to Abakitoye. The 1914 amalgamation will no longer have to be renewed going forward. That is the bottom line of all this problem. So we are not here saying that, oh, it's about Nigeria. No, the 1914 is the bottom line. If it's a problem, it's one here. And until we shut down this 1914 amalgamation that has brought nothing more than blood, chaos, the destruction of indigenous people that are called the Yorubas, we must now prepare the final push to the exit of Nigeria out of our land. I'll come back to Babakitoye again, but I want us to be reminded all the time that the structure holding Nigeria is what we now need to attack, and attack it very well so that it goes down as quickly as possible. We will not give the room so that this structure is still, because this structure, the more we look at this structure, the more it is still a death trap. Let me take it back to what Jonathan said, and I quote, that the only intention of Nigeria today is Britain wants to keep it together, and we must destroy that structure. Whoever the structure is, whatever that structure is, must go down. And this is what Jonathan said there. But it doesn't help us to have a conversation. These criminal politicians use Nigerian structure, just like Tinubu is doing right now. How long do we need to continue to wait for these criminal politicians? So Jonathan knows that the structure is not working, but he went further and used that structure. This criminal Jonathan, just like criminal Tinubu and the criminal of the governors across Nigeria, they know the fact that this structure is not our structure. But they are quoting Awolowo. They are quoting all these other ones that are the former leaders. To hear him talking nonsense. That is why we need to attack that structure. We will not give that structure a breathing room again in Yoruba land. Then you must prepare for another election in 2027 using the fraudulent structure that Britain knew from the one that it was wrong. Yes, it's not your statement, but you knew that this statement is a fact that Nigeria is not working. It's not a country. Why then did Jonathan did nothing, but he went further to enrich himself and use Nigeria to protect the interest of those criminals that want to keep Nigeria? No. And he accepted him. We have accepted for too long. We must not give the room to accept it again going further. That structure needs to go down. Because structure, Tinubu will finish that structure if we give him the room in 2031 and the structure return back to the north. That's if Tinubu doesn't even die along the line. To survive, it's okay. Nobody knows. If Nigeria is not a nation, why are we keeping this bloody country together? You heard Jonathan say that Nigeria is not a nation. So if it's not a nation, let's walk out of Nigeria and keep our land and the people that want to live with us under an independent Yoruba country. But some people want to defend Nigeria and save it. We would have no other choice than to take down structure. I got to take structure down. And this is why we must prepare and ready on the standby. But we must not give in and say, no. You must prepare because that structure, see what they take out. If they might take it, you won't understand it. Because these criminal politicians, if we stop that structure to move around, bridge last collapse between the northern part coming to the southwest. I think the other bridge never collapse. Collapse now. Ukraine attacked the bridge in Russia. Russia attacked it. They took out the structure because the more the structure is there, the more Russia would bring weapons and everything to attack Ukraine. Ukraine took a drone and destroyed the 40 bombers of Russia. It's like about 7 billion. So what does will not destroy that structure? Oh, it's by Iran here. Because Ukraine want to go and destroy bomber and Ukraine Russia before time. Then they will have one reason them to be killed. Russia was attacking them as of yesterday. 3 people died. But Ukraine is not giving up. So you think that Russia doesn't know that they can use that bomber to attack. But one time, when Ukraine drone, all of people attack it, that's what we should also have in our mind. Any structure must go down. You keep saying that, and people will not even know that is going to be the reason why we need to go out of Nigeria quickly. Let everybody have it at the back of your mind. Don't wait for people, don't wait for you. You go ahead and do what you need to do to take down that structure. Because structure is going to be enemy to the Yoruba. That's an enemy. Because after independent Yoruba country, and they're going against it. That structure must go down. Today is the 7th June 2025, exactly 2100 hours. You're watching the Koikimedia live. Bring it closer to your doorsteps. One hour Pakistan in trade and enemies. Why is Pakistan still operating in Yoruba land? When we know that they are enemies. Pakistan, any business divided Pakistan was shut down within Yoruba land because of Yoruba land. And the same thing goes with any other countries that are operating in Yoruba land. We can see if we can work with them. Jonathan is telling us lies, Tinubu is telling us lies, Black telling us lies, any one of them is telling us lies, keeping Nigeria together, knowing that there's no unity and nothing is going to work. So if this is a mere geographical expression, why do we want to keep it together? Why not allow it to go their separate ways peacefully? But nothing is going to go peace. So if you're one of those expecting peace out of this Yoruba country, you have by peace. With every means. Structure I take it out. Switch in here. Because those structures are there. Everyone knows the structure I'm talking about without elaborating it. Those structures are your enemies. I was privileged in the last couple of days watching many movies, and I realized that each of the movie has reason to watch it. There was one I was privileged that I remember vividly well. And we suffered for too long. And the time now is for us to say, there's room if they agree for peace. But don't expect peace from the politicians. Let me give you the background of this young man in this movie. I come to Jonathan in a minute. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Please share the program. Every program is very, very important at this stage. Retweet it. Call those that need to hear. Your actors, your artists can pay those structure I'm talking about. The movie producer in Yoruba land can pay those structure. These are the enemies that we're also talking about. Anything that goes against an independent Yoruba country is the enemy. Because as long as they want Nigeria, they are enemies. It does not matter who they are or what part of Yoruba land they're currently residing. The more they're talking about to keep Nigeria, these are the enemies and we take them out. If they want to keep Nigeria. Let's talk about this movie. So that the reason why these criminals don't want you to have your independent Yoruba country. If you're privileged watching it on the Facebook, you will see the picture. They have it on the Facebook. The name of the movie is Mad Unicorn. Watch it on Netflix. I recommend it. But I'll share, according to what I've picked up now, the background. This is in team of Fejeki Ile Yoruba, on Wela Womo Dua, in team of Fejeki Achieve, on November. And that is why you need to destroy that structure. Because Nigeria is fear. This is the story of Santi Selly. He's an aspiring businessman. Just like many of you want to be businessman and businesswoman in Yoruba land. How? Where? How was he build the company in Yoruba land, in Nigeria? How do you want to survive when it's responsible for large scale with all the enemies from Tinubu all the way down to your governors, executive commissioner, the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, all criminals using structure to deceive us? It is time that their structure must also go down going forward. Santi, let me leave like that as the name, is an aspiring businessman who comes up with a business plan to break into the fast delivery service in Thailand, just like one Yoruba. If you run business, if you business, you flourish. Home and diaspora, but go flourish. However, when a renowned business tycoon, Kani, betrayed him, just like he always betrayed everyone else. This is what the president, Koikimedia, who went out of Emma walking, Yoruba nation never get. So some Yoruba nation, what are they? Police, those that accepted that nonsense. Shame on the body, they will not class of people. Go my bed. But I told you that this structure is a bad structure. The government is not going to àwọn ọmọ tó ti wà tó ti gbà tó yóò sí wọn tó di fàájà that's why I'm related. Ìlú mélòó máa tó ti wà. I don't have the privilege to all this answer because I'm not privy to it. But àwọn akọ́kọ́ bọ̀dọ̀ ìfọ́dà ta pé structure yẹn máa dáwọ́ bí structure yẹn bá wà bá wà dà. I'm sure ibi tí ogun ọ̀gá ti dé tó máa gbé ìlú tó máa bá àwọn tó máa fún wa nínú wọn. But I'm sure ìlú kan bá wà nínú àwọn ẹ̀sẹ̀ náà sí wọn tó máa bá yẹ. We will not die one by one like Tibetan myself. So people are going to solve before years ago with this kind of message. So I did what's up, but I didn't because I come up with everybody who don't want to get just like that, I'm something. Oh, I got money. What a colonel they get Christmas. Just like everybody see, but we are getting LGD. So I just don't know what I'm doing. You don't believe guys. If you can't see, I like to do shit. I like so you don't have to test like that issue with struggle to. That is not something we accept going forward. Because I don't need to something. When you want, I'm not one way organization you want on your own behind you. Yes, it's like a plan. Say that about no you but you structure. You must set that about out of southwest. If you want to if you want to see and after we people don't be able to see that's the passing you to the last week passing that that's my time. This is what but every that pass and you to go money. But stop on you your pretty left in Europa. To get out of you. But that money. And then you tu vai ganhar para cosa ma bello. Ya para lo levo, para lo levo. Così che avete detto l'articolo, io come guardiamo se ma qua il ne ho fatto bene, non per quello che tutto io non posso di composizione. Anzi per quello che tu parla per bello, ci sto facendo posso fare io un po' io ci vedo un po' i doti, lo va lui. Sono dei cose da. Non va bene. Criminal. I'm not structure. But when you say if you just have not like every other person about the system people set down structure. That's the structure. I'm going to get to see. What is going to get? I'm on it. I'm not enough for plan. But was switch. What happened to Southwest? Nothing to know. Or we 2020. 7 e la appena la città di Cafu. Ma Cafu per quanto c'è un Cafu. However, when the renowned business tycoon Kani betrayed something bad, betrayed the man, by setting up his own fast delivery company. Anyway, I'm not defending Nigeria with blood. Just like we was not. I'm not pushing. I'm pushing. Elder people around. I'm not. You want to push back? Now we saw that. That wasn't possible. So that's what I'm talking about. We get enemies of the banana. If we don't move now, we're going nowhere. I'm also. I say, from Tinubu and we 60 million people challenge you. 60 million people will take back their country and their independent indigenous brand. Enough is enough. We will fight with our blood. And I pray they do it as quickly, as strategic as possible. So I can force it out. So I can go out there, not hear anything, but to destroy the structure of Nigeria that doesn't want to accept shit. Anything short of that, it will still be a disaster. However, when the renowned business tycoon Kani betrayed him, something power, he turned against the man. As he could talk, I'm going to pass on Tinubu. So I have to say, no, they can't believe that. This was 4 years ago. I'm kidding. Wendy, Mr. David. I'm ready for 2027. So we have to the president. We still have bloody time. So whatever going the president in Nigeria. Okay, Mr. David, so whatever for president, actually for presidency, they play. Money, this that come give them grow yet. I learned so much to understand that the only movie, don't believe, mad in the con. I like a long idea. We don't go my idea. All the idea in Loto. All the idea in Lowe. It was meant to have 19% stake. We have Bobby Radada. Arakuni was meant to have 19% out of 100. Go up 19. Go back daddy, go back half, go back water. And the business went through. The business went through. Although I read potential over Arakuni, people say potential our Yoruba, potential our Kaki Guapani, they can't fish it. Because any Yoruba, don't know what successful data. See, here, the best actually was pushing you don't look back over successful. You're not wasting your time. I'm sorry to say, your skill, you are not skill. But Yoruba, don't buy it. So I'm showing you later, I'm going to show you later, I'm going to show you later. You don't know about. And that is the truth, and not the truth. Because in Nule Watan, Yoruba land, the one number one priority was Kato Masope, a mini professor, a mini doctor, a mini nurse, a mini legend, one in Belly, hey Yoruba, il leva bear, company, il Yoruba, il Odua, over to Abushi one yen. I am sorry, Yoruba, okay, I can do something like that. I'm not information. On va dire le coup, je n'ai pas tombé dans le truc, on va dire le coup, il y a pas de country. Bon, nous on s'est dit que Yoruba, on va parler de ça, et on va se prendre bien. Et c'est qui pour s'aider à partir de Yoruba, et on va alors, on va se battre, on va pas de budget, donc le Yoruba. Il t'a pas parlé de Yoruba, il n'a pas parlé de Yoruba. C'est pas vrai. I can feel your pain every day. But you have we get that country, don't oh, my boy. Oh, you go to Yoruba. I get go country money. I am telling you, and I was right for that. Lady. They are 17. If I write the numbers, you want to port that Ireland. He don't know if you want to Ireland. Oh, you want to kill it to Ireland. I was not ready for I'm on it. But it was no. A lot of them put it Ireland. And not worry, a country. We buy from country. General get they not general. Go check it. Anybody tó bá disrespect ọmọ Yorùbá kódà tó bá yọ létí àwọn àdúgbò wa tábà ti mú ẹ ó lè wà lórí ẹwà wá láti ta o sí bàbá ṣe fẹ́ o lè gbé ní orílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó gbọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá yóò wò láti fi pọ́tẹ́lá bàbá náà. Why do you think that the former home secretary ó sọ lórí Twitter àlọ́ ẹ̀ ó ní pé kó ọ̀gbọ́dọ̀ lọ bọ́ọ̀kà kí nínú mùsùlùmí àfi ojú ó ní kó má lè kúrò ní UK ó ní lóde ẹ bá fi lọ bọ́ọ̀kà lọ sí Saudi Arabia lọ sí Arab country UK náà kò ní báyìí òun fúnra rẹ̀ ò kì í ṣe ọmọ UK ọmọ Pakistan tó bí sí UK ni ẹ pọ́njú ọmọ Yorùbá a ní kẹfì ibo sílẹ̀ lọ́rùn ẹ̀yà kọ́kọ́ country wa náà ẹ̀yà kọ́kọ́ lé Tinubu torí Tinubu yẹn nínú yìí náà ẹ̀ lè máa lé ibo bí Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ kò possible torí olè ìjà bá àfẹsọ̀ yẹn criminal olè ayé àwọn ọmọ ni àfi tó bá padà sẹ́yìn ó sọ fún wa before 2027 pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní ọ̀rọ̀ àbáyọ kò ṣe kókó máa ń yẹ̀mí ló kàn kókó torí àwọn tani Tinubu fà rẹ̀ níbo ti jáwọ́ tí kò lóko lọ́mú a máa dé òkun yẹn ni á dìgbà ni ẹ̀já ta sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa sun ní kò sọ́nà àbáyọ kankan ẹ̀ tó bá dé kí ọ̀rẹ́ sùn ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn adẹ̀ ló máa sùn ẹ̀jẹ̀ sùn lọ ní gbogbo Yorùbá lánàá òmùrẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ náà ẹ̀jẹ̀ rán ni ìbí èèyàn náà fẹ́ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí ọlọ́ọ̀kọ́ sọ pé kó lọ dìbò àgbò àbẹ̀yìn má lóyàn nígbà tí ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa fi wọ́n lágbẹ̀ òjò tó lọ ní Áfíríkà kan tìbítẹ́ náà wà lóṣèlú òjò yẹn lọ bàbà ní òjò rẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lé tó lọ́ọ̀ náà ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí ẹ pa ẹran lánàá yẹn wọ́n wá ní òrùbọ kí ló dé tó pa ẹran lánàá ẹ máa sọ fún abẹ́ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ òdà èyí mọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún ẹran lánàá tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ní kí babaláwo ní ẹran fún mi sí ẹni mọ̀ lọ́ṣùgbọ́n ìbọn pásítà ìdí ọ̀tọ̀ ló wà lẹ́pẹ̀ òyìnbó mú ṣẹṣẹ wọ́n sọ sọ́tẹ̀ ìdíwá lọ́wọ́ wọ́n gbé lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ bá yẹ kó ṣe rọ ẹ fi ṣẹṣẹ sílẹ̀ má kàn dẹ́ ṣẹṣẹ kò lè ṣe orí ẹ̀sìn mo ṣe Yorùbá nation dání ká lè gba ìdẹ́tì ìwà padà ká lè dé pẹ̀lú àwọn enemies wa within and outside ká lè yé but many of you don't understand that anything have been tough with no trouble for news òun dẹ ọ̀rọ̀ yàrá ọmọ yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ mo ní Tinubu èdè ní lọ́jọ́ òbẹ̀ lókè kéèké òun ṣe lọ́ọ́ káàkiri àkójọ yẹ kó gbé ẹ̀sọ́ ó ṣe pa kúrò àbúrò àkọ́rọ́ fún mi báyìí kí ló ṣe Tinubu ṣe sá òun wá dé kí ló ṣe pa fún mi ṣé Tinubu wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ tèmi wà ní àgbẹ̀ tèmi wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí ló ṣe pa fún mi kìbọn kìbọn tí wọn kò tí wọn lè ó yọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nígbà tí wọn kò ẹ ká ti bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá èdè Tinubu ẹ̀sọ́ Tinubu ìjà gbogbo ẹ̀sọ́ Tinubu ọ̀n gbàsà tó kọ̀ lórí àwọn ọmọ aláàbẹ̀ àwọn èlò ṣọ́ọ̀ yàrá àwọn ọmọ aláàbẹ̀ àwọn abẹ́ kúrò tó ti sọ̀tọ̀ yẹ́wọ́n lọ́gbọ̀n yẹn tó kò kọ́ni tó ń dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ kó àgbà tó ń wàhálà sílẹ̀ tó ń gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ òun gbogbo àjẹ́ ó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dí kíkan òun lẹ́mẹ̀ẹ́ tó wà lẹ́mẹ̀ẹ́ tó sọ sí Yorùbá ìdí ìdúró dọ́là ìdí ìdúró tó sọ sí fásitì tọ́lọ́tọ́lọ́ tó gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe ọ̀n gbàsà ẹ sọ fún wa pàlẹ́ sísì sọ́ọ́ nípa pàmò aláàbẹ̀ tó sọ̀rọ̀ àmà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ní àwọn ọmọ ìwé àtúwálẹ̀ tìbílẹ̀ ìgbòho 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 kú àwọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbogbo bá àwọn ọkùnrin àwọn ìyá mi gbogbo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kí àwọn alálẹ̀ tí ẹ fi àjẹ tí ẹ fi ọjọ́ jẹ gbogbo ìgbà tó ń ṣàtẹ̀ ọmọ gbogbo ṣàní sọ̀rọ̀ destroy àti gbogbo ìròṣì gbogbo ṣàkóso gbogbo bá gbogbo gbogbo bá gbogbo lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ sí ọmọ kan láàyè àpapọ̀ gbogbo bá gbogbo ìyá sójà kan náà bá débi ó sẹ́ni sí náà náà sí ọ̀sìn ó náà bá fẹ́ lọ sí pé kò ní tẹ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n mú fẹ́sẹ̀ èèyàn náà báwo sọ́jà ìgbà náà mọ̀ sí ìgbà tí báyìí máa ń lọ ìgbà tí wọ́n àwọn ìbọn ó náà bá fẹ́ lọ sí ọ̀sán kìí oní sọ́jà ti fún àyíká àkókò ó máa bá lọ ó ní bọ̀sọ̀ ìbọn nígbà tí ó ní káàkiri ìbọn ní oníṣẹ́ orí àyíká àkókò ó ti sọ fún àbẹ̀kọ́ fún ìta ẹ̀yìn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ fílàlù àyè àbí táwọn kábíyèsí àbí ìṣòṣẹ́ sísẹ̀ orí ìkẹ́ni àbí bájáde ìṣòro náà ṣọ́jà ìyàwó ọgbọ̀n ìṣẹ̀dá táwọn nípa àbẹ̀kọ́ sí ẹgbẹ́ àbúrò ìwọ̀n ẹgbẹ́ ìjọba ìwọ̀n 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 ìjàlọ́bọ̀ alẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìṣẹ̀dá bàbá tó yọ ìṣẹ̀dá lọ́sọ̀ àbẹ̀kọ́ ìṣẹ̀dá bàbá náà yẹ bàbá dáàbò sọ̀rọ̀ náà ìyọ̀ ó sì lọ́dà akíndóyè bàbá gbàdọ̀ bàbá bùsùn ìjọba lọ́dọ̀ fún yẹn tí mo fi rí ìrọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀ tó wá ní netflix tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n padà make sure wọ́n destroy ọmọkùnrin yẹn just like Tinubu ṣe ń destroy gbogbo alẹ́ mi mo kí bàbá mi àdéjì àmútan wọ́n ní the voice of Professor Akintoye àwọn Dr. Igboho as the voice of the God ó mọ̀ ẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ Igboho lè máa rí wọ́n ní ọjọ́ agree pé 19% ló máa gbà nígbà tí díì yẹn dẹ̀ lọ wọ́n wá náà máa fún ní 1.9 bọ́ọ̀lù níbi ṣe CEO olówó wa lọ mú ọmọ ẹ̀ wá bí Tinubu ṣe wọ́n ní kàkà kí ṣe èyí Tinubu di gọ́ọ̀mù Lagos State máa di kìnìún sí ọ̀run níṣẹ́ èmi ò ní bà tí gbogbo ìjọba gbà èmi ò ní bà sẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún yín ní ti máa ṣe mo fi ẹ̀ sáré omi mo sọ ẹ̀ síta kàkà kí ṣe èyí Tinubu di gọ́ọ̀mù Lagos State máa di kìnìún sí gbogbo ọ̀run díẹ̀ ló rẹ̀ máa rí wọlé lẹ́ka lórí social media lórí social media àdó fara ìlú lórí social media afẹ́ social media sílẹ̀ ó wá di gọ́ọ̀mù mi lọ́wọ́ that's exactly what they did with this young boy ọmọ tálákà wà mẹ́tọ́ wọn náà tálákà di gọ́ọ̀mù Lagos State náà tẹ̀ ẹ̀yin yúùtù yín tó pè ẹ̀yin amukú mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìyẹn náà ṣe ń gbàyàwó yín oníbọ̀ ọmọ akọni ní àkúrẹ́ nísìn ìyá ká yíra ìtẹ̀lá ti níyẹn ẹ̀tẹ́tẹ́ wà lówó lọ́wọ́ ṣé ọ̀nì gbàyàwó ẹ̀ ni bàbá yẹn gbàyàwó ẹ̀ wọ́n tún nà ọmọlé mo ní kò ní dá fún bàbá yẹn tó bá tún nà ọmọlé màá tọ̀nà mọ̀ náà pàṣẹ lólé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sọ fún lọ́dọ̀ ṣètì bẹ́yẹn o gbàyàwó ẹ̀ ìyàwó ẹ̀ o tún fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ lóyún o gbọmọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ àti bọ́mọ yẹn padà lọ́wọ́ ọmọ yẹn fún lówó kọ́ lọ sí court ọmọ yẹn tó wà lọ́wọ́ yẹn nísìn mo ní bá bí bàbá yẹn dá ó dọ̀rùn kó lọ́mọ yẹn mọ́nulé màá dáhùn yọ̀ dìgbé má tiẹ̀ pàjẹ́ tó bá wá sí ilé wọn sẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe o gbàyàwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ o dóbò ẹ̀ olóyún bọ́mọ lọ́nà ọmọ àdọ́bìnrin o tún wà lọ́nà ọmọ yẹn mọ́nulé kí ló fẹ́ báyẹn akala òṣì àtọ̀dánwò lórí burúkú ti rú lálẹ́ mi ṣé ní àmàjẹ́ tálákà yóò gbọ́dọ̀ múná lọ́nà sí ẹ̀ jẹ́ kí gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yin gbórí wa tó ní dákun gbogbo yín ẹ̀ ní ṣòro ó kù díẹ̀ kóhùn yẹn jáde kan ọ̀rọ̀ bí mo sọ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ mo bá wọn ẹ̀sọ̀ lálẹ́ àfihàn ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ lákùnrin sí ẹ̀lọ́mọ ẹ̀ ọmọ tó ìdíkọ̀ ọmọ kan bí ẹ̀ náà kí mi lálẹ́ ṣé tí ó wá jẹ́ ọmọ tèmi ẹni wọ́n ti báyàwó ìkọ́yàwó mi ọmọ tó àwọn àdùnmí mọ́lé ṣé ìyọ̀lẹ́ ìbàyàwó yín lọ́gbọ̀n tó máa ń nà mọ́lé igbó ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìbámu sọ fún yín ọ̀rọ̀ yín mo ṣe sọ fún yín ṣé wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá tọ́ pẹ̀rẹ́ lóòdó ṣe tiẹ̀ fámìlì bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo fámìlì máa lọ sí ó ṣeré ó ṣe lè gbàyàwó ẹ̀ ojú ọ̀rọ̀ máa nà mọ́lé ní lọ́sẹ̀sì yẹn ó ṣe nìyẹn ẹni tó ń gbé kàṣíjó fún Nàìjíríà kò ní mo sì ní sinmi máa ṣe pé ìyàwó máa ń sún mọ́ ìwé tó ń pàṣẹ àlọ́ place kí ló fà gbogbo lọ́sẹ̀sì yẹn kì í gbé kò ní ṣe náà kí lọ́ọ̀dù yẹn mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ owó lọ́ọ̀dù yẹn mọ̀ ibi tó bá ti sọ owó lọ́ntì ẹ̀ yẹn kò kẹ́ ṣe gbọ́ ìlú lọ òmìnira ní ti kò tẹ́ ṣe Nàìjíríà nílé nísìn wọn tó yàwó ẹ̀ lórí kan lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ lọ tó sọ pé ẹ má ṣàtàn ìjọba àbínú àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ fàṣà lẹ́yìn owó ṣe yìí nìyẹn ẹlòmíì bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dàbí wá sínú lẹ́tọ̀ pẹ̀lú sí pálọ̀ báyìí tó ń gbóni yàrá nígbà tó lórí owó ọ̀bẹ fi sílẹ̀ níbi lórí burúkú tí tó dá problem sílẹ̀ nílé ẹ̀wọ̀n ní kájáde ẹ̀wọ̀n sọ pé ká má destroy structure tábà nípa bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ká fi destroy structure kó sọ lọ́nà ikú pa ènìyàn òfin bá lọ nìyẹn má tọ́jọ́ má torí Tinubu torí pé Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ bó ṣe wà yẹn kó máa sálọ exile ti pọ́n pásítà so kí ló dàgbà tó kúrò sórí arákùnrin wọ́n wá lo pé wípé ọmọ tálákà ni wọ́n gba 19% kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tọ́jú àgbè wọ́n wá fún ní 1.9% kàkà fún CEO ọ̀gbẹ́ CEO fún wọ́n gbé CEO yẹn fún ọmọ olówó just like ṣe sọ ní sí ee Tinubu ó yá ṣèyí Tinubu dàgbà báyìí ìwọ náà wá di gọ́vnà èèyàn òde ṣé kò tẹ́ tó ọlọ́mọ pé òní gọ́vnà ṣé Tinubu lẹ́kọ́ tẹ gọ́vnà ní 1999 adó pa fún ṣọ́ọ̀bù lẹ́tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Tinubu kò ṣe yẹn bàbá dípà jọ sọ fún èmi pé wọn náà wọn ní Tinubu ló pa wọ́n sọ fún mi pé Tinubu kọ́ lẹ́kọ́ tẹ gọ́vnà mo rẹ̀ bó bàbá yóò parọ́ ìjọ tó ló wà dé sọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu ogun Lagos State ó sọ di property yẹn tẹ́ẹ̀ bá kíáfù property yẹn máa gbogbo ẹ̀ àtẹ̀fọ́ traffic àti gbogbo ẹ̀ máa tó wá lẹ́nu pátá ẹ̀ ní sórí èyí fẹ́ máa gbádùn ṣé ó lè parí postal railway wọ́n ti ní kí ṣe sùn ìjà fún gbogbo ó tó lọ mẹ́ta let's go back and listen to this. This video time focus baba 4 years ago lọ́wọ́ lókà wá sí Kútọ́nù ló wá ní àbí bàbá this man is 90 years old crying out loud ṣé bàbá wa ọmọ tó dá fún wa ni. Yoruba appears, there will be destructions on the ground, fending on. Killers, Europeans that took Africa as their own bag. Or one will kill and bag safety pin. Oh, yeah, you go. Kilo 2 and bed. Gold. How can people in Osun State be living as if some of you don't even understand? You are from Osun State. Where you go to have a gold. That is only one is found the gold in Osun State. You can't run it. Ṣé bọ́lá sọ fún akóni rẹ̀? So ṣé kábíyèsí máa sọ fún àwọn ọmọ gold jáde lọ́sùn State? Ṣé Adélékè orí ọ̀pọ̀ máa ń wọ̀n gold jáde? Ṣé oyè tó máa tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀? Ṣé kí ni ọ̀pọ̀ tó náà ṣe APC mọ́ nísìnyí? Criminal politicians àwọn olórí burúkú náà wọ́n structure. Kò ní dá fún gbogbo structure ìyá Arẹ́gbẹ́gbó Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá. Olè àwọn 419. Don't bastard all over the place. Okay, I come from the Lumia. Okay, when you're like that. It's all right, Fasha, but sometimes that is the way people misunderstand the message. We're down in the UK. We're down in your own. What about voting? Even though my children are asking, why is it delayed that we have not come out for the rally? I told them the same thing that we're waiting for our leaders. Now we know you understand. Why? Because they want to get it right. I'm getting it. Only yes. Only that's good. They're not going to get it right. Because what they do, they love you too much, like the father. And I told you, I spoke to you today. I called him very early in the morning. When we talk about that coin, I didn't know. I did the social media. But we call it the brand. We video to one wonder in the dark of the dawn. We pay to remember any one of the video. My people talk dark for 2 minutes. What if you share line? If you got money, go on for the share line. But I'd love to mention him because my leader is our leader is a true Yoruba man. Not that no man of customer visit. Say you people go on the city. He has to find people and missing. Say you come on. Say you come on. So you can't do no more do that. You don't know. Ada yo baba yo kola e mo kola do da kola ibo de kola la mi gbogbo wa ọmọ Yorùbá kaka ẹni pé mo ti ní mo ti afla yo àwọn yàrá àwọn yàrá barika àwọn yàrá tó fi tó ṣe ko ṣàdúrà fún ojú mi nígbà tí mo yà ẹ ká dáwà ká dáwà ìdúrà pátákó bàbá ìdúrà kan ní orí mo máa sọ àwọn ọkọ sọ fún mi pé bàbá mi orí kan ní tó wà fún lọ́wọ́ ni àtàtọ èyí ni ko le tó bá yẹ fún mi ko mo fún mi mo ní bàbá mi ẹ bá lọ bá lọ aka mo yo mo ní kí lè máa kó káàkiri gbogbo social media mo ní brand le brand ambassador of Yorùbá gbogbo bí ọ̀rọ̀ mo ti ní àwẹ̀ nítorí sọ̀rọ̀ ó tó 3 hours. I was normally making a video, but the fact that we talk Igbo headline, what a video, more people are keen in what is funny by Igbo because as a spokesman, I monitor everything that I want to say about it. So it's attacking that. More I realize it. Go talk about Igbo in video to 2 minutes. What if you say poster? Emma Thompson, come on, what if Igbo, my people see it. I'll talk about video at the end. I know that. But some people that Igbo need that money. Have I got the plan? That's what I'm about. Àwọn tó fi dàrú ni wọn pé kìí sanwó ó ti náà bàbá dàrú o ẹ̀yẹ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ yẹn ó di àlọ́ nìyẹn èèyàn máa ní tó ń pàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ mo kí lẹ́nu sí bá kí àwọn ìyá mi àtàwọn láàrin dárúkọ ọmọ sí ìyàwó Canada yìí I love her so much very nice woman ẹ bá mo kí bá mi náà ẹ bá wọlé bí gbogbo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni ẹ̀rẹ́gbọ́ àti tó jẹ́ sí. After his left for calls at 3 hours sẹ́ńtẹ̀ wà lórí Ọláyọmí Koiki Instagram Mr. Sadiq Akorede mo fi tọ̀tọ̀ dárúkọ yìí official oyè bọ́láyọ̀ mo fi tọ̀tọ̀ dárúkọ yìí maintain for life mo rántí bàbá kan tó máa kọrin olú maintain tó lè máa kọrin sá bọ́bì òkè ọ̀gbẹ̀ni bọ́bì òkè wẹ̀ tẹ́ ṣe support wa mo rí pé tí bá ṣe program àwọn èèyàn fún mi lówó sórí àti bá ṣe program fún wa lówó bọ̀dẹ̀ yìí tẹ̀ ń pè mí lẹ́yìn tẹ̀ fún wa pé Koiki ṣáàṣìgbà máa náwó lọ àṣírí ọ̀rẹ́ tú mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín káwá ṣe program ẹ̀ fún wa lówó ẹ má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o ẹ̀wọ̀n project àgbékalẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀n mọ́tò tá a ṣe yẹ owó tẹ̀ fún mi tẹ̀lé ìfìdí ẹ̀wọ̀n èmi àtàwọn ìyàwó òun náà lọ́nà ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn díẹ̀ tó yẹ lára ara wọ́n tìtọ́kì àwọn díẹ̀ àṣà ìjagun ẹ̀ èmi kọ́ mo ní ẹni tó yá wa wọ́n bá ní mọ́tò yẹn ní sinú inú wa máa dùn situation mọ́tò yẹn wà tẹ̀lé tó bá rí tẹ́lẹ̀ kódà ìbànújẹ́ máa jẹ́ fún wọn owó tàbí gbé mọ́tò yẹn dìde kò sí kékeré mọ́tò táwọn staff máa dúró lórí yẹn fúnra ní pẹ̀lú òsì rẹ̀ mọ́tò kọ̀ọ̀kan àbáwárí mọ́tò mi ò fáìn from booking baba thank you Jesus for the project mo lè kí àwọn staff mi wọ́n manage pẹ̀lú wọn ọkàn fi mi ní update gbogbo aláti rí drone yìí nǹkan mo ní kódà ànílò fún ìdí ọba because orí ìdí ọba gbogbo àwọn tó bọ̀ níbẹ̀ gbogbo ọkọ̀ lọ́wọ́ support Yorùbá nation iṣẹ́ tẹni máa ṣe ni pé tá a bá ti jáde fún lábì a máa ṣiṣẹ́ $250 million ni Elon Musk kó sílẹ̀ fún Donald Trump tó fi ṣe election ìjà tí wà láàrin wọn nísìn. Money is very important in this moment no matter how small yàrá pẹ̀lú láti Port Harcourt tó jọ mẹ́ta ọdún bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lára àwọn èèyàn náà ni olùṣọ́ àgbàlẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní Koiki tábà ti gbọ́ àgbo àwọn padà bọ̀ nísàlẹ̀ ó dà tó bá yẹ káwọn gbé àwọn gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá ìṣọ́ ti pásítọ̀ ni Port Harcourt lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ báyìí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti fi 10,000 naira ọ̀sẹ̀ fi lé lórí 10,000 yẹn ní sì kó ra credit fún yàn kan ó lè má jẹ big money ṣe má dúró gbígbà ẹ̀bà mi gbogbo àlọ́ lákàntàn nọ́mbà mi ẹ pè wá kẹfún wa ní support I have changed my plan as well wọ́n ẹgbẹ́ náà ti padà sí London I have changed my plan òrùkọ́ òun láti lọ London ẹ lọ kíkẹ́ lọ London nísìn ó ti wá visa ọlọ́run àti ẹ̀kọ́ èmi ní problem láti lọ òun bọ́ọ̀nù Africa oríṣẹ́ dọ́là wọ̀ fresh money jẹ́ lójúmọ́ òní bàjẹ́ fún dókítà mi lamẹ́ríkà gbogbo ètò tó ń ṣe ọlọ́ba dúró tiẹ̀ gbogbo pátá pẹ́ fàdúrà mi lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rí mi life àdúrà yín balẹ̀ lórí èyàn fọkàn balẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan ṣe gbogbo wa àwa la ní sí àgbẹ̀ ojú ló ń kọ́ ìbòjì òun máa dé bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yọ́ tẹ̀ ń bínú tẹ̀ ń paraya ẹ má kàtàkùn nígbà tí wọn ẹ àtàkì bàbá tó yà ti gbowó indirectly dẹ́mọ̀ sometimes attack them you don't know anybody tó bá attack YSDM ẹ àtàkì bàbá tó yẹ ní àwọn àti gbowó bí ẹ ti mọ̀ ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa ẹ bá ti attack YSDM is not paying I'm not a publicity secretary èmi kọ́ ni bí àwọn Koikimedia nìyẹn bí YSDM bá ṣe tó dáa àpè bàbá tó yẹ nísàlẹ̀ pé kí ni yóò da bàbá ẹ bá wà pè wọn ẹ má attack wọn I will never come out to attack YSDM because structure bàbá tó yẹ ni ìlànà ọmọ òdua structure bàbá tó yẹ ni ẹgbẹ́ tí bàbá tó yẹ dá sílẹ̀ nìyẹn ẹgbẹ́ ìfẹ́ lódù ẹgbẹ́ tó yẹ gbòó dá sílẹ̀ ni but ẹ má attack YSDM the best group ẹ wà very careful ẹ̀yin máa fi fúyẹ́ sílẹ̀ sínú platform yìí platform ìdòwò pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò yẹ yín òun YSDM tani chairman YSDM tó bá ti YSDM kò sí màá dòwò bàbá tó yẹ gbogbo àti gbogbo tó bá ti mọ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ burúkú ọ̀rọ̀ òdì sí YSDM àwọn tó àwọn YSDM yẹn wọ́n gbádùn bàbá tó yẹ lọ sọ pé gbádùn nìyẹn tí bàbá tó yẹ wà gbádùn tẹ́lẹ̀ gbádùn tẹ́lẹ̀ very careful táwọn fi kọ́ bá fíríjì gbogbo tó kú láti bọ́dà àdùkán àgbàláyé bàbá àwọn onímọ̀ tó fi fámìlì wọn sọ fi fámìlì wọn wọ́n fi tayín ẹ fẹ́ bá fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ ni mo mọ àwọn tó ń sanwó school fámìlì wọn bóyá wọ́n sẹ́ni sí mọ́ torí pé sometimes the diaspora ẹ bá ti gbọ́ àwọn kan tó sọ̀rọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi the divert yourself it's good because only your money power dey but at some point moment tó ń sanwó school family àwọn méjèèjì tó sanwó school àwọn up to that a year after my 2 years nísìn bí wọ́n ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ sọ́mọ́ because bí wọ́n tún lè bá ti receipt sọ́fẹ̀ lórí mo mọ àwọn tó sọ sẹ́ni máa sọ pé wọ́n tọ́jú family àwọn kan àwọn olè ọ̀tọ́jú ẹni tó bá tọ́jú nísìn definitely gbogbo àwọn tọ́jú but àwọn adé everybody will be taken care of jẹ́nà ìkànnì kankan kó ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú kan sí lẹ́nu pé ẹ bá ti jáde ọmọ àwọn yìí mo ní wọ̀ ọlọ́pàá náà dàsẹ́ èmi ni mo sọ abá ti jáde fúnra nípa tí sójà náà dà mo ní sójà tó náà wọ̀nyí abá ti jáde àwọn anílẹ̀ láti wọ̀ kámọ́lá tábà sójà náà mo rí lórí Twitter sórí náà sísá arẹwà mo ní sìn èmi lọ fìlà sójà mi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ orí títí wá dédé ọ̀rá ìfowópamọ́ tó bá pé sójà àkùdá sójà kò ní tẹ̀lé wa àwọn wàhálà tó kéré ní àmọ́ ìjà àgbà tó kéré ní tàbí ẹ̀rọ ọwọ́ bá bá wọn pẹ̀lú ìjà àtọ̀ yẹn ilé ló máa lọ kú sí kò ní kú sí torí títí àná ilé máa lọ kú sí ní barracks ìyàwó àdé sọ fún bíṣọ́ fún ọmọ àlè yẹn ìyàwó ẹ̀rọ ọlọ́pọ̀ yẹn àwọn aṣojú òkú láìpẹ́ fáìn bá fi bá wa sọ tí mo fi pẹ́ púpọ̀ àti ṣe 3 hours I believe that's the most important message what is the message am I expecting Tinubu to rescue us from the nation am I expecting the structure of Nigeria to collapse collapse our gbọ́dọ̀ collapse structure of okay do you think that INEC will not go further and do election tẹ́lá bí ẹ̀sìn INEC máa ṣe election kí ni INEC bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí ẹ̀yin lè máa sọ INEC wọ̀ wípé bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ bá roll out anything ládùúgbò wa gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá náà la máa sọ sí ẹ̀yìn ṣoríire election election láti jọ láti 1999 àǹfààní wo làwọn jẹ́ mẹ́ẹ̀ that is but our only time nísìn election tí wọ́n ṣe 2027 tàbá jáde nísìn àmì láti àtàkì INEC àmì láti àtàkì structure kọ̀ọ̀kan but structure tó bá lórí òun ò pé tàbá ti jáde tó bá ti àtàkì back we attack back kò sí àmì kankan níbẹ̀ ẹ má àtàkì no gbogbo story for the god attack back jo ilẹ̀ wa là ń jà fún ilẹ̀ yóò kì í ṣe anybody British náà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Igbo ní ilẹ̀ Hausa ní ọkọ̀ fúlàní wá ọkọ̀ gbogbo ọ̀dà pọ̀ ọ̀dà ọkọ̀ ní máàsì bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ẹ̀láyẹ láyé pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ ẹlòmíì tó wọn kú nínú hospital wá switch pẹ̀lú ọmọ tó ṣẹ̀bi ṣé kò ṣẹlẹ̀ ní gbogbo àárín náà bí kò ṣe ní social media ti dà tipẹ́ lọ́tí ráìdì wa rightness ẹ̀ la fẹ́ kọ́ pátápátá òun la fẹ́ ṣe and it will be something that everybody must understand that kò ní wá bí ṣe sọ yìí it all good in moral story but we must be determined and that is why I don't have topic tí bá tó máa wọ́n kọ́ àbí ọ̀fìn kìnnà àtọ́ ó fi kò àṣírí kan pẹ̀lú àṣírí àǹdà ìgbà kò sí fara síbẹ̀ ìmọ̀ àkùtẹ̀ láti yẹn fara àṣírí ó jù bá àṣírí kan lè àmọ́ àṣírí àṣírí wo pé ọjọ́ ìgbà wọ̀nyí ìjọba ìgbà ìjọba ìgbà ìjọba ìgbà 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 edit bọ́ọ̀sì wa mú ìfọ̀yẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ mẹ́rin ìfọ̀yẹ́ bọ́ọ̀ kò sí bọ́ọ̀sì lọ́wọ́ ìbò kalẹ̀ máa ní kọ́mọ̀ ìgbà ẹni àwọn ilé ẹ̀mẹ́jì ọ̀tọ̀ fún ìbàjẹ́ wa kò sí fífọ̀ kí ní àwọn àwọn kalẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ ìbò òdùwà ní bò ẹni bọ́ọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kí bọ́ọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ 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 They can do anything. Say on Instagram, you are able to any you might keep distraction. Go take 9 out. Go get pay. I'm going to and around the consider. They can share off. And because everything else. I want to listen. Chachi, Baba the Paso, as Baba Paso. No, wait, consider. Don't worry. You are consider. We have many other media that take us to continue the movement. Now, for now, Shimo, I consider how much more. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to leave. Yeah, and I'm going to program to Mashi. I'm going to consider. We have to worry. Then go ahead and Shimo. This is not impossible. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi àti bẹ́ẹ̀
It's a mere geographical expression.
YouTube ẹ máa bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ àfàṣà nígbà tó bá bọ́ kásì ẹ̀ ń dọ́ta sọ̀rọ̀ àfàṣà akọ̀fin ṣe kò ṣe ètò dalẹ́nu fún Yorùbá tó jẹ́ ọgbà ẹ̀ mú bọ̀ ní ventures kí ẹ má bọ̀ ó ti bá dé máa gbọ̀ngàn bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ṣọ́ọ̀tù dá kò ṣe ọ̀tá àwọn fi máa lò sometimes tó kọ̀ fi ní a bit of clarity òun náà ṣe lò àti release ọjọ́ ìgbé fídíò àṣẹ àmì spare phone we been running 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 channels yàtọ̀ sí the laptop tó fún wa Facebook àti manage seller so we are very good we have about 243 people it's not because we want to make money on YouTube we are worried about the indigenous people so we continue for the super we keep our sack raji we are ready to fight and defend our land and do one nation now this is not what to be only the Yoruba Ìgbàlódé can repay the nation's debt in full when they agree on a peaceful dissolution I still believe that there can still be a peaceful dissolution but we must prepare for the eventualities we keep our target in Ibrahim too much damages down to Yoruba people kódà kò sẹ́ni tó lè sọ pé damage yẹn This is the extent of the damage. For 110 years, Tinubu knows that, everybody knows that. Mufa Idris, when they wow, really, Mr. Joseph, wait, how they shake, could not down from penny, and shake it, that's one way, come on, shake it. Mufa Idris, that's one majority of the Nigerian men are like that now. Penny, over, if you want to live in time, once you take it, good man. I'm not making this quick up. Situation I post my I the man's got caught. That's what I'm saying. They give man money to suspect the government. To find my program. So put up all the sense in front of myself because I don't know see the solution people for this the money from. Okay, Mr. William say, please give it to us. Amos, no, Tinubu himself has no good plan to Yoruba race. In fact, Tinubu is the worst thing ever happened to Yoruba race. We can abandon Tinubu money. Even if Tinubu doesn't want Yoruba nation, we can find cost more. Check who I love about I think that Tinubu's intention is a very bad one. I'm not going to tell us that when he gets the second time, he will have the opportunity. You know, that's what that means. We have a titular shot for the all best family penny. Our number one priority is Yoruba country. That is the priority. You know, Muki Bishop Ajino for the good job he's doing. Muki Bami, born in Nigeria, to keep Lagos and okay. Muki Mr. Imbala, what about the people themselves doing for now? Even the UK is for now. In America, it's crime. Let's have our country and we'll deal with crime. So it's not about we're talking about having independent country. So for now, it's different from having independent country. So long as we do together, Muki, Brahma, Felicia, she can push out quickly. Go John Meta, very good question. So it's like first of all, and the last 5 days I've been to check my messages and all that. So I'm catching up. So Muki, Russia, Abia, Muki, Anthony, I'm quick here. We're running like very we're of you are very very very. It's like that. Even the long before the world knows what is going on. Okay? But if I say, give me one moment, please, because I need to quickly say it. The leader from Canada will myself. We know how these things work. I've been getting messages that Koiki, the Yoruba Nation asylum seeker was not going through. We see our Contodo in Canada to claim asylum. We know how this works. Many people are using Yoruba Nation for whatever reason to claim asylum. Some reach out to us and we say we don't know them. But this particular one never reach out to us, so I don't even know him. But Bakio doesn't know him, Ibu doesn't know him. But we know how this things work. We know the direct corrupt. All the paper will claim asylum. People can use them and cannot speak their behalf. So whoever read that kind of messages, please take it off. Let me leave it like that. I'm sure maybe you understand most of people who do that is headline. I don't have to mention the name. Most of you have no video. That video will also to it. Madness. Mr. Kennedy will say, I send the own way. I need to go on. Like, no beg. New ventures, let me give it to you. I said, I'm not people. I don't want my beautiful sister. Now we are with so when I appreciate my sister, sometimes people start thinking, quickly, I aware, sister, okay, Kizito, Ajuro, innocent has come back to just listening. Kemisi, Mukinyo, Kemisi at Tonda, you sometimes are going to go, Muki with Tenkowa, Mayowa, Koikimedia, and those that are listening. I know there are people listening. What if they put themselves into anonymous? Because they keep going to more like that. I don't have any problem with anybody. I am not fighting people. Don't attack you, don't attack people, don't come for your tradition. They're okay. Even if you disagree with us. If you do that, I will attack you. And I'm not taking this with you. And don't wait, Bishop F1 can come back, many venture people as well. Bishop and Gasoro, Bishop and Lord, time. Many venture ahead, let's see from you as well. Bishop F1 few seconds. Okay, very long. It goes to Koikimedia. It must be right. How do we encourage them? Because we need to encourage people. I was almost scared that I don't even believe it's and sorrow. But how do we encourage others to join and understand that the election is the best way, not election that we hate and don't represent? I want you to be honest with us. And please, honest, I'm telling you the now. Why is it that Nigeria will never work again? We should even appreciate our brother Update TV. I know his number is a very good brother of mine there. By going to expose that lie of Reno, the 30 kilometers been commissioned and is ready to go, even though 10 kilometers was actually done and 20 kilometers not yet finished. And that project might be completed even if it goes for another 4 years. We know that because it's going to be lies. But again, why are the indigenous people not looking to another way out from Nigeria? But they think that Peter Obi can come in, Atiku can return back, he's been fighting since 1993, Atiku did more. Tinubu wants to go for 2027. How do we complete this evangelism to our people to understand that we are not fighting each other? We can still remain loving people, marry Igbo, marry Hausa, even marry Fulani if you want, but we can still be a separate country and come together and work together. Why is this difficult? I don't know. Stop believing in individual like LP, I think we stop believing in all these politicians. We stop believing in them and start fighting for our sake. Fighting for each other, break up. We stop going and doing all those things that Nigeria is putting for us, but we stop everything. That is it. Because we continue to trust, we trust on LP, we do it, we do it, some do it. If they continue to remain doing this, I assume we worse and worse everything. Worse and worse. So it's not doing all this, break up. Okay. Right. the only way is break up. I love the last part. Some people say, "Okay, please speak in English." Yes, it's true. My wife she's my Abuja. Yes, I mean, every part of the country is beautiful. Before the next one, I'll come back to you again. I'm going to take a call now. I know there's another person coming and request a video again. So the benefit of those that don't understand Yoruba, what we're saying is that the whole region has beautiful place. I'm following this couple that are traveling on their Mercedes Sprinter. I don't know where they're heading to, but they're going from one part to another across heading towards Cameroon. I don't know some of you are watching their videos. And when you look at the landscape of the North, it's a beautiful place. But I don't want to be part of a place where I cannot even protect my people because of my identity and my language. So when those that are not Nigerians listen to this kind of podcast or watching us say, Nigeria is a beautiful place. It is the landowner, the indigenous people land that is beautiful. There's nothing called Nigeria. Britain created Nigeria by using our land to be used as Nigeria. You will watch it as well. So what we need to do now is we turn back the indigenous people land and make it a flourishing place and allow visitors to come in to Igbo land, Hausa land, Ijo land, and all that. And that way we can have a flourishable, prosperous land that works. When you look at those couples, people sometimes are wondering that, so we have these places up there that are so beautiful. So why there is pressure in the southwest? It's because that part needs to be developed, but it cannot be developed because the structure of Nigeria has collapsed because Nigeria is not a country. I'm telling you, if you don't watch that video, if you see the landscape, but what we're saying is that I can still go and become an engineer and help them as a citizen of Yoruba land if I feel that it is not going. There's some countries that you want to travel to because your government is telling you not to go there. So like if you're somebody that understands or you are friends from Nigeria and you're wondering why this wants to break, it's because nothing about Nigeria. And I've also had the argument that some say, I think I had it in one of the videos, when Nigeria break, the military will not be as big as Nigeria. What is the point of having a big military in the first place that protect us? I would want to have a country next to me with a military because we only have 1 million military. You understand? But what we have today is what they call a futuristic way of working. I watched a video about the 60 seconds. 2 days ago. A young 30 years old is already building a ballistic weapon where soldiers will not be used to fight. One of the biggest project is having a submarine that can go 1,000 miles. Australia has already invested $50 million or something into that project. I will look it up now, watch a video on 60 seconds. He said that he was still working with Facebook and it was sad because of the deal in 2016 when Trump was president. Even if you have 500,000 soldiers, you can defeat. Look at the drone that we bought. This drone is less than 2 million. Are we saying that the Nigerian government doesn't have 2 million to import the force because the people can see a powerful drone and use the infrared? So it's not about having long, massive soldiers. It's about having a smaller country that can then be able to work with the futuristic way of life that we have today by using the autonomous, like cars have been driven today without a pilot. When I watched this young boy interview with 60 seconds, I was shocked with some of the things that he's designing. Like I said, one of the big go in under the water and travel 1,000 miles without being detected. This is what we should be doing. Not talking about Nigeria that cannot even fix its own borders, talkless or anything. So let's go straight and take another call. But like I said, thank you so much to those that have contributed and those that are still watching and listening. Everything like I say, yeah, driverless car is there. Many things can be workable, but for now, the future is no longer Nigeria. The indigenous people have the country. No, go ahead.
Hello?
What's that going?
Yeah, I push it.
It's only get 10 and take much.
All right. Now,
yes.
Okay,
you know that, yes.
Yeah. What I found out, based on what I found out here. Now, she should make away your believe in your body or say your body. Including politicians, or the revolution today. Inside them, we make them, they'll be happy if we have our own independent sovereign state and your body. But it's not that man low comment. That government, no man low comment. That is the area where I'm calling now. One low in Nigeria, number one, is poverty. Poverty. The poverty in Nigeria is very great. And it is politically strong to keep the people down. And that is why the cost and the price of commodity in Nigeria are being orchestrated by the government to reform. So that all we need is the whole round the level test. If not, and people don't get them at the next day, they probably get very. And that's one of the second is operation. Publicity. They use the police, they use the DSS to terrorize people, to terrorize my young people, and they want to and they are dead. People are big. Even now, checking it out, we go to the rescue. We have one, and then I want. And I will be out now, not all along. Why not they take the area? The government is they use force of it to oppress the people, to bring the idea. So Nigeria and the family and the becoming nothing. They didn't really put them. Even though they believe humanity will be the best one, do not people be quiet. So the third one is that. Now, John chose his deception. Now, that deception, they know doesn't last forever. But they use that on film. Feel that the Democrats, I want to get Adamo.
Can you mean deception? I talk about deception. Can you shalaye or episode because more meaning deception.
Okay, deception is top. So, I want to know like the far color and one time I want to tell you what you should. And that's the reason I want to die at the one what to walk and the other one is I'm going to go by. The other one like the woman in the world company. One day I love from Vale, one day one day getting one. Policy to make a we will migrate the high cost of living. So, let's see, law, no justice or president. He had their way, you're not president. But then, justice don't look like what I like. So it's not that I don't want your nation. People, including those who are in party up and down. Deep down in their heart, when they talk to you, need to go in there. Deep down in it, we pay your nation best for us. But if you say because of what we about to about, they are coming here. Oh, about that time. But you don't argue with you. It's for some with you. What you say, everybody read. You don't terrorize the one. They never come to you. But you will be that is the problem. That's the problem. But again, they actually tell Baba what is on the back. And we pay always your background there. No man is share right. Mass police in anyway. They are not Israel. Not very Egypt. They started with negotiation. Not like you're right. Moses went and met Pharaoh and negotiated and people. And then they go and serve their God. Who is your God? I have the date. I have the entire family. You want to be a law. Well, if you don't know already, if you don't know that you want to see my bills, you refuse. Now, liberty, who wants to give negotiation, you won't relax. Now, if Pharaoh, Pharaoh be our general there, only our Israel, only there is 2 months there. Only 3 don't load there, don't be Monday. Only our man for on this straw. What have you produced there? Only for now, don't want this straw. They come along one straw for our war. On them produce equal amount of quantity to a consult like daily. They must pay labor want the time to the end. Iṣẹ́ tó yẹ kí iṣẹ́ tó yàn mẹ́fà ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀. Èèyàn mẹ́ta ló máa bẹ̀ sí máa ṣe because èèyàn mẹ́ta máa separate ara wọn wọ́n produce the straw. And they must meet equal demand. So increase the labor on them. Hello?
I'm going. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello, yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
Hello?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So increase the labor tax on them. And nígbà tí àwọn èèyàn ní PRM mọ́, àwọn èèyàn we are ready to do anything. Wọ́n á di lu ọ̀pá fi ṣe oríṣiríṣi. Nígbà tó tóbi wọn jẹ́ because àìsàn tọ́tù fi pa ẹran tọ́tù gbogbo àwọn àkókò yìí tí wọ́n kó tóbi ní pé ó yí ìlú wípé ẹ máa lọ ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ pa wá pẹ́tọ́ ẹ máa lọ. So it's always like that. The poverty, the oppression in Nigeria ẹ wọ́n ọmọ secondary school tí bàbá ẹ̀ gbé lọ láti lọ ṣe exam tọ́lọ́pàá padà rọ̀ nìbàdàn. Ọ̀làlà abiyamọ àbá yẹn tó bá rántí ọjọ́ yẹn ọmọ ẹ̀ ó gbé lọ ṣe. Hello?
I'm going, Bishop. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Ọmọ tó gbé lọ ṣe exam láàárọ̀. Ọlọ́pàá dédé yìnbọn nítorí ó ló gba one way. Ó dẹ̀ pa ọmọ dànù lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn ò lè gbádùn mọ́ náà. And that issue now. Nigeria network.
Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ, à ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay, that issue now is swept under carpet. Àgbọ̀kọ̀kọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ mọ́. So what oppression is more than that? Ó máa dé level kan gbogbo aráàlú nílé bí a ẹ̀ mọ́. Àwọn aráàlú everybody ló máa dé. So ìjọba ló máa fọwọ́ ara wọn ṣe ra wọn. It's always like that. Àwọn máa ń rò wípé wọ́n ti wọ́n pọ̀. But at the end of the tunnel, there is a whole breaks. That's how it will always be. Okay. But we are the one that will first break that chains. They need a rope. How did people work for to break this here? Momentum we gather sára àwọn èèyàn rẹpẹtẹ. They just need few people to break that chains. And the people Baba ti declare. And we that have received the trumpet, just like the trumpet, with sound. Everybody jáde sí
Amen. Eshigoni. That is the voice of Bishop. Like I said earlier, Moki Babawa, Yawa, Moki, Just Reason. Let me come back, Lori Twitter space in a minute. I can't see the comment on our MixLR. Everything goes blank here, but I can know, and I believe that you are still there with me. Moki Bubuyi. It might be no, I'm not sure why. For whatever reason, I cannot see my comment section again. Just Reason aside you, African Confidential. This is a young man that is walking around the clock on Twitter space known as X. Another caller to Lori line pẹ̀lú. Hello, Baba. Kefi Baba that's it, sir. Ẹ kálẹ́ à ń gbọ́ yín, ẹ gbóhùn sókè. Ọlọ́run ló ń tòkùn ṣáwa. Àmín. Àmín Jésù Kristi ṣàlọ́.
Many times, many man join program join before the time I even message you. Every blessed time.
Amen.
But the only thing that we understand is we don't worry who we are going to declare, we are going to shiva, we are going to shower, combino.
Okay, ṣé kò dákọ́ bínú ni àbí ìbínú yẹn pé ìbínú tó dá ní àbí ìbínú pé kíní yìí kò ní ṣeé ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n pé ìbínú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló wà èèyàn lè bínú pé wo Kóìkì ọ̀rọ̀ yín ti sú mi ọ̀ Kóìkì à ń bínú wà á sì ń dúró.
Sẹ́rí ní ojú tó kọ sí mi.
Okay.
Mo gbọ́dọ̀ yí dàbí ìlú gbọ̀ngàn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Tó bá kọ ojú sí ibi kan, ẹ̀yin ló máa kọ sẹ́lẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá tó dẹ̀ ń fi ọkàn àti ẹ̀mí ẹgbẹ́ àpèjì ìbòjú ẹ̀sìn kàtúkọ́ tí ọkàn àti ẹ̀mí àti ara ẹ̀ tó ń bẹ nínú àárín ìrìn àjò yìí. Mi ò rò pé tí nǹkan kan bá mẹ́lẹ̀ ní àbíkan bóyá ìbínú ló wà kan. Anybody tabari tó ń bínú kan tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ àlùfáàsá sí ẹnìkan ó gbà fúra sí. Ó gbà fúra sí because ẹ̀kan sọ ní Nàìjíríà sọ̀rọ̀ pé àwọn tá à ń bá wọlé sọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n sùn. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé they are working more than we do.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, and they have the resources which we don't have.
And they have
the resources. Àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ kókó tàbọ̀ sí mẹ́wàá jáde níta ìlú adé tó fún wọn lówó oúnjẹ. Wàá dẹ̀ wà níbẹ̀ kò ní ṣe nǹkan fún wọn.
Tinubu ti ní láti kókó Starbucks láti kó. Wọ́n lè kọ́ ìdáhùn tó state.
Because structure ìyẹn lè má bínú pé I don't interact with the same. Ìyẹn mo ṣe ní structure yẹn nísìn la gbọ́dọ̀ wà la gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀. Ó ṣe gbogbo ẹni la máa fi sùn yẹn délẹ̀. Wẹ̀n tó bá ní làákàyè ló máa plan fókè structure wo ni Kóìkì sọ. Because ẹgbọ́n tí bàbá wa sọ nísìn pé Tinubu èmi ní Tinubu máa gbé mọ́tò jáde. Àwọn ìṣẹ́ Kóìkì ọ̀bọ̀dẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ìwé journalist ni àrùbọ̀ ní làákàyè. Structure ti wà ní Ondo state tí Tinubu kàn máa command ni. Ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè àgbọ̀n nísà.
So nǹkan táwọn èèyàn mọ̀ nìyẹn tó àwọn bá náà fẹ́ jáde ẹrú ń bà wọn náà wọn mọ táwọn wọn mọ bí táwọn fi sí wọn mọ bí táwọn wò sí but they are doing everything to know our strategy to know our weak point wọn fẹ́ mọ bí táwọn lágbára sí and they are using everything they have to know all these things so there's a man who make comment on the Facebook pé òun bí wọn kí wọn wọ́n ti ticket so I just went to his program so I not modify the account. That's what I say. Yes, you can pay this. You pay that. We come here. We don't know that was 16 years. So, we don't know what this. So, we don't know what I'm very sorry. But that's what I'm saying. But I need to those chief people. They go back after us. This point, me to me, whenever it goes to the money that is why we money no day, no one always got money to feel quick and be already. So, Timo Kawai, we can take us any time to plan ourselves.
Because we cannot plan to fail. I got a plan to succeed. Because that's the end of it.
Yeah, we can take. I like it when I see that Yes, there's something going on. People should have deep thoughts. They should have deep thoughts. Baba send message. See, Tinubu. See, Baba here. See, Baba Mokoboji. Baba, I'm going to make a message to one. I'm very sorry to say that. And another thing is, Daddy Koiki. Like I said, the voice continually go on low. No, because I must tell you the fact. Majority of our people want identity or more. We lost their identity. But I got people who are team on we now have business. Then go to business because we like to look at what's ego. So, now if you buy a conversation, I know how hard the man fought for you. Oh, don't get paid. In 1914, they got 110
years.
So, damage is how come it costs.
Damage la fe kúrò nínú ẹ̀ ṣe. And that is damage yẹn gan fe kúrò. Ẹ bá gbọ́ pé ẹ̀kọ́ program ní Nàìjíríà gan fe lọ. Ẹ bá gbọ́ program Nigeria itself doesn't want to break. Kò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Nigeria doesn't want to break. Thinking of Nigeria will bring a bet. One thing more, the video I was talking about 60 minutes. But when it's 30 years old, it doesn't develop. You have to develop it 300 times. But without financial project, futuristic weapons, threat and security. Futuristic weapon. Only one. Only America only láti máa kó sójà káàkiri. Kí là ń kó sójà káàkiri fún kọ́nà pàwọn èèyàn. Futuristic weapon. Ìwọ́n sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ èdè pa wá o. Fúlàní ń jẹ kó wa o. Nígbà tẹ́ pé láti inú yàrá wa láti máa lo autonomous machine. Bí Fúlàní yẹn ṣe ń bọ̀ ló máa yìnbọn fún orí ẹ̀. Àgbà mìíràn sílẹ̀ lẹ̀. Gbogbo nǹkan yẹn náà ti wa gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì òfin lónìí. Mo gbádùn bàbá mi jáde.
The strategy team is study. The strategy team was study. Láti ìgbà tí àwọn ọmọ tí ń dìtà títà fún ìyàwó wa àbí àwọn ẹ̀ka òfin wọ́n mọ̀ strategize that they are using threats to size them. And these tactics, like look at other movements, it's already tactics. So if the end is actually the tactics, it's obvious that when they see people rise up, in one you know saying, look, that's what you're saying. But I'm calling my dad every day, anything more. How many times remember Sunday? Remember Sunday with them and every Sunday almost Sunday. The same strategy, no, very low. Into taking it. Because strategy all over all over life. What do many people get?
Pátọ̀ láti kúrò múlẹ̀ ti tán tó bá ti pátọ̀ fíìmù lẹ̀ tó wò lọ ó kálukú lọ lẹ́yìn náà.
But what they don't know is that they are already failing already because they are silent observers that are doing watching just like me. Just like me. And I know there's thousands of people in my age also watching. Somebody else like say what I say. I want to know. So the other day I watch your program. Then somebody we must protest and that is the truth. Anything financially, everything.
When the actor is no longer in the movie, you cannot, you have to protect him.
We need to protect everything. Yeah. So the second part is that please, if you know how far your voice is going, like if you know how far your voice is going, you can think of it because you are weak. Because I remember that night. So you are sending a good message to us, and people are really different. So we still need our people, our youth, especially most the youth of this generation. We need to rise up because Ija is for us now. If you are 20, you are 18, this battle is for you. And you should know if Tinubu doesn't have anything to render us, that's useless. That he has been playing.
There's nothing to offer.
What is that Nigeria?
Nigeria is a shade on it. Thank you very much. Together. Amen.
And another thing, please, boss. We want, if it takes us to another time to plan and to replan and to re-strategize. Only those last we must figure out that thoughts.
The mood is too much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving from the Motor Richard story is being Wale for just another few minutes. I want to play the video of the futuristic weapon. So that the Yoruba people that are worried, if they were concerned, with Koiki, look, let us just not push now. We can have 10,000 soldiers in the Yoruba country and we can have a futuristic weapon to protect the Yoruba land. This courtesy of a video of 60 seconds is one of the broadcasts in America with about 3.6 million followers. This video was posted 7 days ago. Has already been watched by 623,000 people. Thank you so much for being part of this program. In summary, for those of you that don't understand what we do here, all we are saying is that politicians in the Southwest must now come together and allow the Yoruba people, the indigenous people, to exit Nigeria peacefully. If otherwise, there will be much problem going forward. What we're going to watch now is just something to tell you that the world is changing, but the Yoruba people needs to understand that they don't want you to rise up. This is a young man. He's not even 40 years like me. And he's already developing something that millions of Yoruba people will do, and we have done in the past. This is Ade Orialade, as Professor Akintoye told me. This Orialade, as I wrote it down, has been created about 12th century without the technology there. So imagine what we can do with technology. Okay, of course. Okay, brother, okay, so we have about 30 minutes. Let's manage it quickly. Let's watch the video. I do not have to copyright this just for the purpose of this program. YouTube, you cannot see the video, but if you go on Facebook right now, you can watch it along with those that are on Facebook. But if you're just watching it because I'm streaming on a mobile phone, you will not be able to see it. Hopefully, we will have a computer that is very big in Africa that can use the broadcast and everybody will be in the same room. But for now, the laptop is not heavy enough to bring everybody together. Another tech billionaire here, when you have politics, politics is not where the money is. Another tech, not millionaire, billionaire in dollars. Ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ wa, ẹ̀yin káwé jù mí lọ, you are well educated, but yet, òun gbé POS káàkiri within Yoruba land, òun wọ ọ̀kadà. Wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé you are a tech billionaire. This young man, tó fẹ́ show yìí nísìn, tàbí gbọ́ rẹ̀, is not, I am 47 years old. This man is already 30. He's already a tech billionaire with a government that supports his vision. You think Tinubu cares about your vision? You think Tinubu cares about who you are? As a Yoruba sons and Yoruba daughters, because of my time, because it's coming to midnight and I want to really end the broadcast in 30 minutes. The reason why I'm cutting it is because it's not my video. So I am cutting in because of the video, autonomous, futuristic. That is where the future is. But when 60 million people have been suppressed, subjugated, we need to rise up and fight it with whatever means, but with a better strategy to defeat the enemies. Who are the enemies? We know them. The foreigners that also want Yoruba people to have a futuristic government so that we can run them to the country looking for visa for study, looking for visa to go and work and japa. That is what they want us to do. But we are challenging that and say we would not tolerate that anymore. Why do you have to be the one to fight us? It is the fault of Nigeria. The futuristic, the tech billionaire. Let's go further. We got involved in revolution because we believe in it. This guy got involved in what he's doing because he believes that's the future, the futuristic weapon to defeat the enemies. Why do you think I got involved in Yoruba Nation? It's because I believe it's the way that we can get back our identity. But because Moran, Nigeria, Jamaica, in London, because they're in London, deceiving you that Nigeria has a futuristic future for you. Don't be deceived. This is bigger than Bola Tinubu, and it's bigger than even the kings. That means that land is still there. But we cannot see them. Maybe they are still roaming around the Yoruba land. We don't know. And the Yoruba people must rise up from Kwara all the way down if we want to really be part of the next future. If otherwise, we are losing everything and we will lose it very fast. So let me give you a little bit more of this tech billionaire and we can move forward before the broadcast comes on end. Let's go back in. Please give me a few minutes, please. $32 years old billionaire in dollars. 32 years. A 32 years Yoruba man now doesn't even know the left from the right. And is there accusing Baba Akintoye, Igboho, and those of us shouting quick out our country. I think that is more than enough to give you the kind of what you can expect. But there is something that this guy has done as one of the biggest projects. It's currently an undersea submarine. I want you to listen to that before I come on particularly. And all the copyright goes to 60 seconds. I'm showing evidence. Some might say, alas, you think I don't have time? I have time to watch a lot of things and quickly analyze it. 32 years old, a tech billionaire, submarine on showing. That submarine can go 1,000 miles without being detected under the water. A government has already given him money. I want money there. That's if you protect me. But why are $58 million? It was joke. Also, Fulani joke. If I okay, you only have 2 minutes this year, and I'll give you a space so that I can start winding down because at you are exactly close to 5 hours. This year, go ahead. You have 2 minutes or 3 thereabouts, please. Loud and clear.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say, because one brother was asking the question, there's a Bible says you cannot make it forest. You know, you have to train people, you have to let people get awareness, especially those who's in diaspora. So there will be people to be helping you and moving. Whenever they are not in program, they can be in Facebook, they can be in group or any of the social media to make sure they are meeting for this organization on the map. Because some people are using it to but they are speaking about they want to have people and the people can also go because of culture and bad and some people when you do the bad and then you arrested to be you can be brought up some young boys who are eager also go to police and no brothers and no friends in program so that they work with peace.
Okay. Thank you so much for that extra contribution. Okay, I'm not coming out, but the problem is because they're not fully set up at all, they're coming out on Facebook, and when I finish, I quickly upload it to YouTube and share the link out, and I'm just going to use the links on our Twitter space. Thanks so much. Lucas Quick, says, thank you very much. This is my video to go to South Africa, okay, like, shout out to everyone. I can't mention your name because this thing, Joshua. When I say, maybe now we are enjoying Mr. Fitayo Joshua, just find out how long we wait, we won't succeed, and want to have a result. I got to make a result. I don't think that we want. The coming out that we get result, and that is what we should think about. Most of the way you are going to happen, you will understand. I'm still putting at everybody's work. That's the father professor Alanja Kitoye and all the others. And the prince Dr. Peck. Thank you to our pastor, imams, all our Babalawo, as we are going to end the broadcast. Things that I do. So Nigeria doesn't have more than 1 million. Yes, the total population of Nigeria, I somewhere I told you last night, it is not even 400,000. It's about 300 or thereabout. So it's about how big, it's about how you can manage, okay, and see and support. I will start telling people my account details out. It's just to support. We are not begging. We are asking to please support the media. I am not a blogger. I am a media organization, and what we need money for is big every day. There's another project that is in my hand, but I don't want to announce that because of security reasons. What I need is 500 pounds. If I have that, the result will speak for itself within a very limited time. Let me do it that way. So if you are going to help us, get it up so that we can get this back on. While we are still waiting, we will not stop doing what we want to do. I don't want to appreciate many things quietly on our platform. But the bigger picture needs to go to the YSDM and all the groups that are asking for one support or the other. Don't let anybody tell your spirit because it's our spirit now. Nigeria itself is like a spirit food that we are. Anyway, okay. The problem is the Nigeria is not spirit. Okay, this part to get land back. Your spirit of people all around the southwest and the middle belt and how you can see all these galaxies. Even humans, how can see this through all the way because the mind that happened. So I want to go the mind was no anybody. And if you're thinking that your politicians doesn't know that but they are doing everything that they think eventually we can conquer if they you have ever so many click down on that and so we want to buy the material government struggling with 100 pounds. Yes, we can struggle because we're not criminal here. So that's why I say that if you are fighting the government that is using our resources, we must not destroy our resources so they don't access the money. But to get to that stage, you must strategically hit that place. So that's why 500 pounds might be a small money, but it can make a big damage to Nigeria. But again, any people actually, and I'm sorry, I will not be able to show you. I should marry. Any choice. Okay, I have 15 in New York. We are because there are many enemies and many moves. So I'm moving because it's not needed in this platform. So we need in the broadcast that is going on okay. So we're not here asking people that don't have common sense. Let me just give all the final part because 15 minutes I have it's not going to more than 15 minutes. I'm already tired. I've done 2 hours extra on class. And I normally tend to do that, especially when I want to wake up a couple of days. So that's the reason why. Mokim is the TJ. Yes, I kicked him out because if somebody's asking me that maybe 500 pounds, say, why are you not going to ask him what is the billion that they have stolen from Lagos State that he has built TVC with it. TVC is operating in London. I don't think some of you understand how much TVC is paying to Sky every month. So, but off their badge on it, I'm going to give all that details. So, anytime for result my daddy, result money with a independent country, but it has to be a collective effort. Just one more brief from the Bakito's letter. I will not read everything. I'm just trying to quickly get, okay, that's letter to President Buhari. Too many facts. Letter to Tinubu is already on our website. Please go in there, you will find it there, and you will be able to download it and read it and study it. Baba is a very smart, intelligent man, and Tinubu needs to be very careful because a little power can be the end of him. The public letter to His Excellency is a parliament in 2025. My Excellency President of Nigeria, the most eminent of Yoruba nation, today, we, Koikimedia, we, the 60 million Yoruba people, your kinsmen, representing millions of Yoruba people in the Yoruba land and Nigeria, Yoruba in the diaspora across the world, after all the pray it meets you in good health. We know it's in good health. We saw Bill Gates in Lagos State, we saw Dangote, we saw Dedola, we saw Femi Bajabemla. Ask yourself that question. If 3 million people move towards body law, who is going to stop them? Even if 500,000 people move, how is it to stop them? This is why we're saying, let us sort this out and make it move. First, Your Excellency, I'm going to jump because before we get you to careful. And if you don't understand, somebody needs to tell Shaitan, okay, stop people Fulani people because Fulani destroy Lagos State in a matter of because one year not for funding. So not in the country in the southwest. I want to go to the they play. So see, I don't know about so sit down there, continue to attack me. Tipo what if I get to a tabernacle coffee select with Kawo Shefelo. Fulani ma pago down, one blow, bridge and turn, one blow down. Cost on anything.